Y'all ready?
All right,
Live
house
now.
number three. We are live. What's going on?
Oh,
Look, our names are back. We
Stop
can
it.
see our names now.
Yeah, because we ain't
Yeah,
talking that crazy shit.
yeah.
oh, our names. What
Yeah.
I'm gonna get discussed later on. Our names is gonna disappear again.
Oh, our names is disappearing. Yeah.
Oh,
That's gonna
You
be
know,
funny.
go. Laura, what we talking about, Laura? What we talking about, man?
all right. Well, today we're gonna start off with this Mike Tyson versus Roy. What was his name again?
Roy
Roy
Jones.
That
Jones.
Roy
boxer.
Jones Jr. Oh man.
Really, Roy Jr. Oh man, I'm sorry about all that.
Oh
I'm
God.
missing the name. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. So, I'm gonna start off by saying I'm going for the younger guy only because Mike Tyson old. Mike Tyson old. So that's
You
not
going
down
for
with that. I
Jones?
don't care. Yeah, I got to because Mike Tyson is old. Like
Yeah.
Oh
old. Like
man.
Yo, you hear this, boo? You hear how thing?
he
He old, yes.
Oh
boxing.
I, I'm
Like
gonna
some
go
people
for
just need to sit there
Tyson.
yeah.
and down. You know,
It's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
mm, let me
I was gonna say, I actually saw some highlight clips from Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson still got it. I don't know what, like, yeah, he might be old, but Mike Tyson still has those hands. Like, I don't know if y'all saw the video or not, but it was him and his boxing coach.
I'm not denying that he can
Huh?
fight. I'm just saying you don't put an 80-year-old man against a 20-year-old man. Like those are two people that just don't
He's
fight against
80.
each other. I'm just saying. No, I don't know how old he is.
Girl,
I was
I'm
I
exaggerating.
like, wait a
understand what
minute, is
Laura's
he
saying.
really 80?
He's not
But
80,
I don't
but
agree with that because I feel like if he still has it and like if he's still confident within himself and he's good on like going out in the ring and boxing
I'm
and
not
stuff,
saying that.
I don't think it should be a problem. Honestly,
Foot Soldier says
I
they
think it should
both
be a
old
problem.
boxers. They both old in
Roy Jones
boxing
Jr. is
units.
not that old. Like
How old do you think Roy Jones
Roy
is?
Jones Jr. is not as old as I don't think he's as old as Mike Tyson. So I'm
No,
gonna go for
he's
the
not.
younger of the two.
No,
But
Laura,
How old is Roy Jr.?
in boxing
that's
terms, if like
ageism.
Christina said, he still got it. Mike Tyson gonna give him the business.
I'm not knocking
He
when he
still
still got
got it.
it, but I don't see the business. Like even
Both of
I
these
don't
guys
see
are
it. I mean,
knockout guys. They like to knock people out. Both of them. Roy
And
I
my
don't
Jones
know
and
about
thing, yo, let me
knockout.
tell you, I think, yo, them based on the clips that I saw on YouTube of
Mike
him
got it.
as of recently, like preparing
Yo,
for this
he
shit,
Mm,
Mike Tyson still got it. And it ain't
I
like
don't think
he missed a step. It ain't like it ain't like you could tell he's like
so
struggling or hurting. Mike
so
Tyson
Laura,
is very well good still. Very well
so.
if it
good
was
still.
Floyd Mayweather versus Roy Jones, who would you have taken?
Oh, nah, you know what? I wouldn't even
Floyd,
want to see that. I would want to see a Floyd Mayweather
Floyd.
and Mike
I just
Tyson
feel like sometimes,
situation.
maybe I'm listen. I'm not a boxing fan, so I don't watch boxing. So let me start by saying that. So my opinion is basically purely just looking at people's ages. Honestly speaking, I just feel like, um, like yeah, I don't think they're the same. I know Mike Tyson's been boxing way longer than Roy Jones Jr. I don't know how much longer, but I know he's been boxing longer. And I'm not saying that makes him either one of them. I just feel like I didn't watch the fight. I watched the little clip that y'all showed me, and I felt like just watching that, like the little clips didn't get that vibe. Like I just feel like Mike Tyson should sit down. Like he's done these comebacks before. He's gone and come back, gone and he needs to just sit down. Just in my opinion. I mean, if he's gonna win, if it's in his destiny to win, he's gonna win. That's just what it is. I just don't see it. I wouldn't bet no money on it.
See, and that's how I feel
Oh,
when it comes down
I
to
Boo
already
boo,
put
what you
money
think?
on it.
Oh, you
I
already
already
bet
put
it?
money on that fight, man.
Oh,
How you feeling
Hell
about
yeah.
it?
What? Listen, it's Mike. I love Roy Jones. I love Jones Jr. Jones, he fight, he funny. You know, he's like another hood nigga. But it's we talking about Mike Tyson. We talking about Iron Mike. I'ma eat your children alive Tyson.
Yeah.
He don't hit hard because he work out. He hit hard cause he a little dead. You feel me? That strength is within. That man, that training session, that's all just natural with him. Jones, the
So you
age really
saw what
gonna
I was
affect
talking.
him.
Yo, he got them hands,
Yes. Mike is still
hands.
moving like he 18. Now the thing is, let me tell you something though. Everybody like once especially early in Mike's career, everybody try to finagle it where if you could survive 5 rounds with Mike, then you could fight. Because Mike always 5 rounds or less was dropping people. You understand? I think what messed up Mike in his career a little bit was the fact that because he was always knocking people out first round, second rounds, and people would pay big money for that. People stopped
Yeah.
going to him because it's like, yo, you put on the fight, you go to get something to drink, you come back, the fight is over.
Yeah,
You
you
understand?
couldn't.
So
That shit was the worst. That shit was the worst. That shit was the worst.
They were
I
easy
remember
knockouts.
so
I went to
so
across the street.
so what they my fault, I didn't mean to cut you off. But what I think they started doing was having him stop killing these guys. Don't go to kill them. Fight. Fight 12 rounds. But still, it's Mike Tyson. It's Mike Tyson. Nah, I'm going 100% with Mike, man. I put up $300 on Mike. Mike better win me some money.
yeah.
It's
So let
it's
me
gonna
ask y'all
go.
this: Can
It's
I
gonna
play
go.
devil's
I
advocate?
need to.
Yeah.
So okay, so Boo Boo, I'm assuming we saw the same like training clip, the one of him and his trainer. He still has the speed, the agility. He still has it, right? Do you think he could keep that momentum? Like, look, because like Laura said, he has gotten a little older. I haven't seen Mike Tyson box. You know what I mean? So, do you think like now that we're
This
talking
is
about
Trump.
the age
You want this one?
and like now he's up there, do you
So
think
take
he
this
could
one.
last 12 rounds now
Grab my plate.
realistically?
Grab this plate.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no. They both gonna die out by the third round.
Oh yeah.
But 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 I done seen Mike Tyson in the eighth round tired and still drop people. Jones
Still
eighth
drop.
round, he tired, he wins off of points. There's a difference there. If Mike catch Jones, and it don't matter who you are, no matter how good your chin is, once you tired, when you get hit, you get hit. It's done for.
That too.
So if Mike catches Jones and Mike hit niggas through the glove, he hits through the glove. So if he catches Jones with a good one, it's over. It's over. Jones
Okay.
is not going to deliver what Mike is going to deliver.
Okay,
Okay,
first
I
off,
can
let me
see.
start by saying, good evening, foot soldier. We see you. And Boo Boo, she said, I believe it's T, right? I'm not bugging. She says it's she. They said you're talking about the guy who bit the other fighter's ear off because he was losing.
Yes.
So get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
Yes, long
That's
foot.
what Foot Soldier said.
Like,
Yes.
Oh, I said long foot. Foot soldier,
Yeah.
my
He
I
bad.
bit. Listen,
yeah.
that
So
should
what
tell
I'm
you right
saying
there.
is,
That
oh,
man is going to
they
win
also
at
said
any cost.
break out the rocking chair,
He bit somebody's ear
but he
off
didn't
because
win
he
that.
didn't like the way he was getting hit. He didn't like the way he was getting hit, so he bit his ear off. You don't think he's going to do whatever he got
Nigga,
to
that
do to win? Huh?
yeah, but again, don't give me no eyes. You can't get eyes on that. He ain't winning.
Uh,
I'm telling you.
Nah, but
I'm telling
I
you.
do think it'll be.
We should have
I
a little
do
bit. What
think
is the
it'll be a
fight?
match. I do think it'll be a match. Because I would
I'm
want
not
to see
saying. I
that
just
fight.
don't think he's
I'm not gonna
winning.
lie.
But who's
I'm
paying
gonna
for it so
want
I
to
can
see
go
that
watch that
fight.
day house?
Yeah, I want to go
Who's
watch that
paying
fight.
for it?
But you know what? I want to
Who
go
paying
to
for it?
I want to go to a sports bar and watch it. Cause I feel
Well,
like the
let me
hype
tell you what I
when you be
think.
in a sports bar, like in any
Maybe
restaurant
I don't know.
that shows like the games and shit, it be overly hyped. And I want to see it. I want to
First
see it
of
at a
all,
sports bar. I like,
first of all, you know it's not inside dining anymore. Let's start by saying that we're not on inside dining yet.
oh
We start
yeah,
actually
yeah.
this week coming, but at a 25%, a 25%, what do you call it? 25% capacity. That's one. Two, there's a spot in Queens in Steinway. I was very shocked. I was just sitting there because I was at work making money. And I was sitting there, and these people opened up their bar. It's an Atomic Wings, which is bad for me because I don't eat wings. But they opened up their thing. They had the and they mounted on the outside the stuff to hang up two TVs. So I watched these people bring out the flat screens and mount them on the damn thing. I couldn't believe it. These people are about their money. And it's a sports bar and it has liquor and whatever. And they had really nice tables. They had parking in the street. Really not a fan of the parking in the street because I just know people can't drive. And I working the job that I work, I've seen people that don't drive. So I don't want anybody backing up into me. Sidewalk I'm a little more comfortable with. They had sidewalk seating. They didn't have the short sidewalk seating. They had the tall people sidewalk seating, which means small ass table. But they definitely had the TV. I thought that was kind of cool. So I would definitely like to see something at there,
True, we should do
But
that
I think
though.
we
We
should
should do
definitely
that. Cause I'd be down to watch it
we
at a
could
sports
find a
joint.
spot.
The sports bar do the
Me too. I'm
podcast from
listening.
there.
I'm with it.
Yeah, I do it.
On the podcast from the sports bar now. That'd be hard.
Live from the sports bar in Queens.
Yeah, why
Giving
not?
Mhm.
live commentary.
I gotta drive to Queens every day. You want me to drive to Queens again on a Sunday? On a Sunday? But what is the fight? That's the thing. When's the next thing? When is the
When is
fight?
the fight? That's what I want to know. When is the fight?
Not a clue.
I
Y'all
gotta
brought
I gotta
this
look it up.
crazy.
I forgot. I'm 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 not sure if they said on a date yet. They
Cause they're
training.
training for it, yeah.
They training for each other, but they didn't. I don't think they set a date yet.
Cause the
Or if they did,
coronavirus shit.
I missed it. Yeah, that's probably something that has a factor on it.
Okay.
But if that happens, man, depending on how much it's going to be, because it's going to be a pay-per-view fight.
Oh,
Is
that's
two
gonna
top
be. Oh
names.
my god.
Their
Yeah, them
records, their
pay-per-view
records, their
fighters.
records is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Truth be told, if y'all don't want to go out, man, I'll order this shit.
Oh, we could do
So
that. It don't matter.
I was right. Mike Tyson is 54 and Roy Jones Jr. is actually
Hmm.
51. I guess I don't know how long, but I feel like Mike has been boxing a lot longer. He started younger. At
He
the end of
started.
the day,
He
he's
started
taking a
late.
lot more blows. I just feel like yeah, he did. I believe he's a Brooklyn boxer. Though. Am I 90% sure he's a Brooklyn boxer? Right? He came from Brooklyn.
Who?
But
Yeah, Mike
Mike,
Tyson's from
ain't
Brooklyn.
he from Brooklyn?
Yeah,
He's from Brooklyn. I
Yeah,
know he's from a hood. I
he's
just don't
from
know what
Brooklyn.
hood. There's very few hoods.
Yeah,
You get Brooklyn, Philly, Chicago. Those three hoods that we discuss all the time. She said that's why he lost, boo boo. You have to take your feelings out of it and look at it as a boxing, not street fight. Facts. As far as that's what I'm
listen,
saying. He
listen.
lost. So if he
He
it
so
says
like that, he
November
got
28th.
to
he lost the first fight. He won the second one. He lost the first one. He won the second one.
win. Yeah, he lost because
And
he bit the person. Everybody ate lunch.
yeah,
No, I think he bit him
He was
afterwards,
supposed to
right?
win.
nah, he
Huh?
bit him in like the eighth round.
Oh.
I know
He
what
he
day
bit
you
him
said
at like
right?
the eighth
November
round.
what? Macho, Joey.
Right, right.
What day? What day the fight was?
28th, November 28th. That's what it's saying.
November 28th.
Yeah,
Wow, ain't
Oh, so we
that's
getting
a
that.
Saturday?
it
That's
was
mommy and
supposed to.
daddy
It was
anniversary.
supposed to be September and in October, but because of COVID, they think. Remember, they're trying to do it in California. That's what they're
True, boo
trying to
boo.
do.
Hmm.
Sipping on my scissor too.
Me too. I took a
Man, we
nice
gonna
little
be
shot
drunk by
just
the end
now.
of this night, man.
By the end of the fucking night, I put in my personal day, child. Listen, I'm good tonight. I'm good tonight.
There's no school
I
for the
got
kids tomorrow, so I'm good tonight.
okay. So we over this conversation. conversation. Should we move on?
Yeah, Mike
Yeah.
going
So
win.
So just
wait,
said that,
okay. So I think Mike Tyson. I vote
Roy.
Tyson.
I vote for
I
Roy.
think Tyson's gonna win.
I think I
Tyson.
want to
Tyson,
bet
man.
Tyson
some.
all the way.
We should do a bet. I think we should do a bet among us. I feel like if
Yo,
I win,
everybody's
everybody on
going for
this
Mike.
team, because I'm the only one betting for Roy. Suggest.
Cause he what 2 years younger than him?
I feel like 3,
Oh,
and I
3.
feel like if I win, I should see Tina with no makeup on,
A girl ain't got no makeup on now.
head
Oh
tie
man.
back, no glass, no lip gloss, and I should see Boo Boo and Joey with makeup on. That's what I want to see if he wins.
I got
What?
nobody
Are
to do
y'all
makeup,
willing
That's
to
what
go
we,
that
so I'm not
far?
here.
That'd
that's
be
what we doing.
interesting.
I girl.
I have no problem with that.
Like,
All
I ain't
right,
got no issue.
I want to see.
I'll take that bet. But if
Okay, bet.
Mike
All right. Now, what
Tyson
y'all want me
win,
to do? Mike
Lloyd
win.
you got to get on the live dressed up as Pennywise.
All right. Say less.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that.
just,
Yeah,
I think
I like
I'll
that.
take
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'll take
I
that.
like that.
And I
I
would
go
go
to
to
the
Boo Boo's
costume
house.
from.
And your name for the day,
And you gotta do
and
I'm
then
going to
all
the
our
everything.
names
costume
for the
from
day is gonna be Georgie.
Georgie. Georgie.
Really?
You're gonna
And
be
you gotta
Pennywise,
say
and all our
names
names for the
for
day is gonna be Georgie.
yup.
Doing the opposite sex. You gonna dress like a girl. You 2 girls, and Christine, you gonna dress like a boy. Everybody doing the opposite sex.
Heard you.
That's what we're gonna do. All right, watch when I win. When I win. I already got a bet going for.
Oh,
I
do
forgot
y'all
what did
want to
I
do?
bet for?
I got an idea. Hold on, let me write this
I got a bet
down.
for mom. So we're gonna move on. Oh, and Foot Soldier said that's your birthday. That's the birthday. I know.
And she said, "Oh hell no, don't do it, guys."
Yeah. Foot Soldier. That's also my mother, and that would have been my mother and my father's anniversary. So that's gonna be interesting.
Damn, they would
We're
have
gonna
been
move
together
on to the next.
39 years. That would have been
Yeah.
39 years.
That's gonna
Because
be
I'll be
interesting.
30.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But
That's
Mom,
really
you gotta
interesting.
hit
I
the
want.
Pennywise
To see.
dance. I want to see you
I don't
do
even
the
know the Pennywise
Pennywise
dance, so
dance.
you have to send
What
it to
he was
me.
doing in the
But
video.
I'm not gonna have to hit anything. I want you to get your makeup skills on and put the gold tee on with the thing, Christine. I want you to
Girl,
look
I
like Boo
already
Boo and
had an
Macho.
idea. I already had an idea.
And I want them
She
to look
has an
like you.
idea.
I want wigs. I bet see these. I want wigs, and I want nice crop tops with the boobs pushed up, because you both got them.
Not the crop tops.
It's Boo
Look
Boo
at Boo
I
Boo.
want the
frozen.
crop tops.
Boo Boo look like he rethinking shit. Or is he frozen?
He frozen.
I
He
think
froze.
Boo Boo, you frozen? Yeah. His
Mm-hmm.
Wi-Fi acting up. Like, when I get the good Wi-Fi, everybody Wi-Fi decide to act up. Everybody internet decide to act up.
You want to be fancy, you stealing our good internet. Your fancy internet. I gotta bet. So I wait for Boo Boo to call before I make the next something. But I gotta. Oh, you back, Boo Boo? I actually got to bet tomorrow on the Ravens game, because the Ravens are playing who tomorrow? I think somebody,
Oh,
and we
Wi-Fi's
lost to
acting
them
up.
before. I gotta bet. Tell Marcus get off the Wi-Fi. No games. All right.
Right.
So the
That's
next
probably what he
topic
doing.
is. The next topic is Black Mirror, season 1, episode 1. Whose idea was this? Whose idea was this? First of all, let's start with whose idea was this? Whose idea was this? It
Christine.
was you. Oh, okay. Let's start by saying you lied to me. Oh, Boo Boo left. He can be back. You lied
His
to me.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, his Wi-Fi acting up. You told
What I lie
me
about?
that you said this was like Twilight Zone. Then that what that was not the
Yeah. In the
comparison. This
sense
is
of
similar to
every
Twilight
episode is
Zone.
different.
This is okay. Yeah. No, first of all, when we decided to do this, we're gonna do like a review on this show. And I'm not a problem with the show. I got problems, but I don't got problems. Y'all didn't specify what was episode 1, what was episode 2, what was episode 3. I ended up watching episode season 5, some episode. Didn't know what that was. I thought, and I watched that episode and was like, this crap. Y'all got me watching. That's exactly what I said. I'm not watching this shit no more. But then I watched the first couple episodes, went back and watched it.
You ain't smelled the
It's
gas?
not Twilight Zone though. I'm not getting a Twilight vibe. I'm more getting on like short story vibe. The first episode, which was the one that I had to watch, which was called National Anthem, because that's what Joey said. The National Anthem. I thought that was crazy. I thought his wife was trifling for leaving
Yeah.
because she was acting shady with him after he saved that girl's life. I didn't think it was nothing wrong. I thought what he did was wrong. I didn't think it was nothing wrong with saving that girl's life. Am I crazy? So I wasn't. I mean, I'm
Well,
gonna try to watch on this, but I just felt like I've watched already 3 episodes. I'm 3 episodes into it in different parts because, of course, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I'm not the hugest fan of it though. Sure, if I'm not liking, I'm not really understanding the concept. Maybe there's somewhere it should tie into the title or something like. Is somebody
Mm-mm.
care to tell me what I'm missing?
Well,
Anybody want? Don't feel free. All feel
Black
free all
Mirror
the time.
is somebody gave me like a great like synopsis of what Black Mirror is, and I'm gonna try to explain it, not necessarily word for word, but I'm gonna re-advise. So Black Mirror is supposed to be a show that is solely based
Mhm.
around technology and uh how it can affect our lives in some way. So like for National Anthem, right? The only reason I felt like he did what he did was because the lady, I think it was like his right hand man, was very much
Yeah.
like, listen, everybody on social media and what everybody is saying like online is, if you do this, you will be looked at as a hero. You will be looked at as somebody who gonna potentially get a second term automatically. Um, so it was very much like based around like uh what everybody else had to say, what he should do, which I thought was like very interesting in a sense because it's like uh I see like on social media anyway, like you have the polls like on Instagram stories. You have the polls, so like your followers and stuff like that could, basically say whether, you buy the red top or the blue top. You know what I mean? Whether you take the red pill or the blue pill. So yeah, I think season 1, episode 1, National Anthem was a little bit. It was a little bit out there, and it was also the first episode that I saw that got me to watching the entire season. Like Black Mirror is a dope fucking show. Lord, I don't know what you talking about, but that shit was a dope ass fucking show. It was a dope show.
I'm gonna I'm gonna say this. It's not that I don't think the show could be good. It didn't make sense to me. I guess the fact that I watched it, right, like it doesn't tie in. Like, granted, Twilight Zone, you knew, like they led you up to the Twilight Zone. You knew what you were watching. I could see the technology part in it because the 3 episodes I seen, all of them had to do with technology. Um, but I don't, like I said, it just seems like it doesn't. I would like if it was a little bit of tying to each other, if that makes any sense. Like, not 100%
Mm-mm.
tying to each other, like, a
Mm-mm.
little bit. Because if it's gonna be like the Twilight Zone was like you watched it and every episode the guy spoke to you and you knew, or even the crypt guy with the skeleton looking guy. What was he, Macho? What show was that? You
He
remember
was
that
like
crypt
the
guy?
Crypt
narrator,
Keeper.
the guy
And I
that
was
would kind of tell you what it is,
yeah. If it was like, yeah, that we going into this, oh, look at John and how he ended the Twilight Zone, or look at this one, and you kind of had like a tie into it. So I'm not sure, and maybe if that's what I'm missing with the
Well,
tie-in
the
part,
only
like I'm
reason
looking for
why
something
we
to tie them.
said it's kind of like the Twilight Zone is because like each episode is like different. I've never like personally
Yeah,
watched
different
Twilight
all over
Zone,
the
but I've
place.
also heard it to be very like scattered, and you needed those narrators to keep you on track of things. But Black Mirror doesn't have that. It's up to like, because I feel like it's
It's confusing.
self-explanatory. Like you watch an episode, episode, and it's like, yeah, okay. But I'm telling you, once you start watching the other episodes and shit like that, Laura, you're gonna have a different perspective. I wish I
No,
knew what
yeah, because
episode you was
season
watching.
season one is just the start of it. Let me
Yeah.
tell you something. In season two and season three, there's a lot of shit
But I
that
didn't
happens, and
watch
it's like,
season one. I
wow,
watched
like
season five.
season
What you
five,
said?
season five, season
I'm
five.
trying to remember what season
Did
five
I see season five?
had. What
I
did
don't think
we
I
watch
watched
on
it.
season five?
The first episode made me want to watch the rest of the
Same.
season.
What
The
happened
first
was,
episode made me want to
Yeah.
watch.
what happened was, I watched it on the Fire Stick, which is attached to Joey's Netflix. So when it said episode one, when it showed the episode, it just said resume playing or start from beginning. So I hit start from the beginning thinking it was the first episode because I'm like, we're watching the first episode. So Joey's probably at the end of it. So I just said start from the
So
beginning. So
you
I
just
watched the
started from the
whole.
beginning of the episode you was already watching.
I wasn't watching it. Whatever he was watching, I just assumed it was the first episode. Then I went to go say why didn't like it played the episode, and then I was like, okay, it's not continuing. So I said more episodes, and then I realized I was on season 5, and I was like, the fuck, this is not where it's supposed to stop. So I just go
Listen,
all the way down. Then I
my kids watch all this, so that's how I
That's
Mm.
know
when
the
I went
kids
into
probably watching it.
what was season 1, what was the first episode, because I had already started watching one of the episodes and it wasn't the first episode. It was, I didn't even remember the name, but I remember National Anthem. Then I watched that one and I was like, what the fuck? So I had already, National Anthem was the second episode I watched. And then I decided to watch the one I had originally started. Well, the second episode I started in that first season. I watched that one. So I'm on the last episode now of season, which I was like, okay. And like I said, I could definitely get the technology vibe because everything I've seen has to do with technology. However, not like not as not it didn't like I'm watching this one I'm watching now kind of has my attention, but other ones really didn't have my attention. Like the one with the first one I watched in season 5 definitely had me like, we really watching this? Like, they're dead ass. This
What
is what
was it,
they want.
Laura?
It was the one with the spaceship.
Laura, you got to keep watching that one. You got to keep
Oh
watching
no,
that one.
that one is kind of like, I want to say trash, but that's
It's
one of the
out
weaker
there. I
episodes they
wouldn't
have.
say it's trash. I feel like it's too
It
far
was. It
out
was.
there. It's like too far
No,
out
it's not
there.
too far out there. I got the concept of what they were doing, and I did understand it. But like again, like with something like an episode like that, where that the clones now land up and get in their own ship or whatever. Like, and I got the part where okay, for 10 days he's gonna be stuck there because nobody's gonna be looking for him because it was Christmas Eve. So I got all of that part. Like I got the concept of the episode and that he didn't have no balls in the real world, so he had balls online. Totally get that too. But it just was like it was
And that episode you
the
talking
actions
about
he
it,
did online was just
that wasn't season 5. That was season 4.
it felt fake.
You talk about the one that's you talk about the one that's like
That was
Star Trek, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
the bootleg Star Trek,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's season 4.
But I didn't
Uh
like
huh.
it was like we don't have no cards, but he had to kiss the girls at the end and like he was just getting the people thing, and then I really thought I was like, oh, this is really fucked up when they said the thing. Like I watched it, I was like, I'm not a fan about, and that was the first episode I seen. So it already had
What
deterred
is it
me.
that you're not a fan about, though? I'm curious to know.
I didn't
Like,
like that. I just didn't like the episode. I just didn't
you
think
just
it
didn't
was.
fuck with
No,
the
I'm not
episode.
gonna lie.
I can see
That
why.
episode,
Okay, I can see why.
that episode, the Star Trek episode was like I said. I think it was one of the weaker episodes. Like that was just
Yeah,
something
but
they
that was
just
the
put
I didn't
together
think
just to
so.
fill
I
in.
thought it was
first
very
episode.
like the fact that he was able to like get
But
people
that
into
was the
like
first time
I don't know.
I the
I feel like
technology.
I can see why like
That's
nobody would really fuck
the
with it, but
technology
then
was
when you think
fake.
about it, it's like, that's kind of like that's
No,
that's like
it's
one of
about
the
technology.
worst
Nothing wrong
ways
with
to be
technology.
tortured. That's like one of
It's
the worst
nothing wrong
ways
with
to be
technology.
tortured.
What that you don't you know no, I get that. Like I got the whole thing, but then I felt like the guy, it was just basically like he was a punk in real life. He found a way to try to get back at people in the show. And I thought that was crazy. That's what I felt like. It just well, I wasn't a fan, and in my defense, that was the first episode I watched, so it just
Mm.
kind of like deterred you from the gate. And then when I happened to notice, like, okay, that's not the first episode, I was like, okay, let me find the first episode, and that's what I did. And then when I went to do that, like I said, the one I started, I was like, oh, okay, this is crazy. Could you imagine like having to relive your life? Like you can just rewind your shit and it's like that. And I thought that was crazy. And but it was cool. That episode was bad when I started it, and then all of a sudden, Joey told me that was the wrong episode. I had to go back and watch the right episode because I wanted to be on the same page as everybody. But I definitely like the national. Like I thought it was crazy, and I felt like I wanted more information. Like, did the princess do a setup because he released her? She was fainted, and he committed suicide. He released her before the guy went online, and nobody knew that.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
girl was released
So I
like 30
want
minutes.
that shit was
to, yeah, but I
crazy.
want to know
Joey,
the synopsis.
Yeah.
Joey,
What?
Joey, would you have been able to pork the pig?
I don't know. I couldn't. I couldn't. I don't know. I don't know. That's over. I don't
Yo,
know.
I still
What about
juggle
you?
that question.
Do
Like, can I
yeah, do
pork the
y'all think
pig?
y'all would be able to do something like that?
I
Listen, let me
don't
tell you
know.
something.
Um,
About I want to say about 7 times out of 10.
somebody's life depended on it.
Yeah, but even still, how you pork a pig? I can't. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm still.
know.
I throw that up for debate all the
First of
time. Like if
all,
it was my kids, something happened to my kids, and somebody told me to do that on national TV and online and stuff
I'm
like
a
that. That's
I'm
a
gonna
hard
need a
if
decision.
like if
lot,
It's a hard
a
decision.
lot.
I'm
I'm
gonna be
talking
extra
about
drunk.
holding the nose. Boo boo, I'm talking about holding the nose and just going straight for the whole thing at one
Yo,
time.
You're
At
gonna have
one
no
fucking
choice.
time.
like one more sip, it might be a seizure. Like I'm gonna need a lot because that
Yeah.
like they really made
Also,
him pork the
I
pig.
did
And you know who's the worst? The worst one out of all of them was the female. She made it the worst because she's building it in confidence. Like, no, you're not gonna have to do this. And then she's telling, and then you see the faces she makes at everybody else. She's like, yeah,
y'all hear me? Can y'all
I
hear
hear
me?
you now.
but that's what I said. Like I
I
wanted more
can't
to
hear.
that
Okay.
episode. Like I
Okay.
wanted to know.
I'm
Like
sorry, I had a phone call, but what was that
I
boo boo
wanted.
said? The one of the worst ones was what?
Was the female, the lady. The lady kept on telling him, no, don't worry about it. You're not gonna have to. And
Mm-hmm.
then it started getting down to it, and she's like, well, I think you got to get ready just in case anything. Like, yo, she was the worst.
I
She
was
was the
wondering
And then
worst.
it's
was she the
like
one
I
really
thought it
setting
was
him up?
interesting too
That's
because
what I wanted to know.
Hmm.
Like
that just goes
the
to
dude
show
killed
like
himself
how
after.
powerful people are in some instances. No, we can't hear you.
Who you
You
can't
can't
hear?
hear me.
No.
I can hear Laura.
No, I can hear everybody.
I can't hear her.
My phone is okay. Hold on. I'm gonna leave
Joey,
and
can
come
you
back.
say something real quick?
What was
Is
you
Joey,
it me?
saying?
Is it
say
me?
something real
Can you
quick.
hear me? Can you hear me?
I can't even hear Joey.
You can hear me?
I can hear you. I can't hear Joey or Laura.
Mm.
So come back out and go, man, because you
Damn
got the
it.
phone
Let me
call.
leave and come back.
Yeah, that
Now
phone
it's
call
not
messed
me.
up her phone.
It wasn't me now.
Now
It's
it's
not
not
me
you.
now. Look, your mom's
The
and
phone.
so your mom's didn't get no notification when we went
I don't
live.
know why. I don't know
I
why
got
she
my
got it last
notification.
time.
Yeah, I got my notification that we was live, so I can go on YouTube right now if I wanted to on my on a different phone. And it was
Yeah.
Christina. Christina couldn't hear me neither. Can you hear me, Laura? Can you hear me, Laura?
But y'all breaking up now. I can hear you, but y'all going in and out. Y'all breaking up. I don't know. I mean, I know what
It's
it is.
Mm.
My
probably
service
yours, Wild.
sometimes could be my food. I'm waiting on my
Can you hear us
food.
now, Christina?
She ain't even get in
Yeah,
yet.
I
Can
My
you hear
hear
us
food.
now?
everybody now. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but
Boo Boo,
they
what you
put
was saying?
pigs and they
I don't
put
hear
pigs in
you.
this.
You don't hear me, Laura?
I know now I hear you.
Okay. So you said the lady, right? But
Yeah.
one thing I also noted, right, was that did you notice how all of the civilians they were gathering to the TVs, they were gathering,
Yeah,
everybody was gathering to watch this. Because when the
Well, you
announcement was made, they were told to turn off the TVs so that the program could run. They were told not to watch the TV, but
yeah, they
everybody
were.
watched it, and everybody was like,
But
"He should do it. He should do it. He
no,
has
but in
to
the
do
beginning they
it."
were against it.
No,
It,
no,
it
no,
wasn't till
no,
yes, in the beginning.
no.
No, the people, yes, in the beginning they were like,
Oh yes,
He
yes,
had
I
half and
noticed
half.
that too. I noticed
no, no,
yeah,
no.
that
In the
yeah.
too.
Half
beginning,
people don't want it.
of it, they were 20% was like do it, and the rest was like no. But the people they changed it. They went over to the
Yeah,
other side only because the lady she set it up to do like a forge, like a bootleg shit. She set that up. She set
yeah.
it up to where she put his head on somebody else and he could do it. And that's what
Hmm.
happened. And then they basically felt like, okay,
Up, up.
well, you was planning to do the bootleg version, do the real version, and now they kind of because they gonna change the way they thought. And the way she
I
talked to
wrote.
him was crazy.
Hmm. No, I
Cause
wrote
she
that
went to
part
him and
down
she
because I was
basically,
like, interesting when asked, would you watch? People said, no, it's disgusting, couldn't bear to see it. Like I was writing
hey,
down
sweet
some
sugar
of
cane,
what I was hearing. So like
hey,
it was
people's
interesting
lounge,
that people were like, no, I'm not gonna watch it. Who would watch something like that? It's disgusting.
and
And
then
when
they
the
changed.
commencement was made that everybody should turn off their TVs while this is playing, everybody in the world
They
There
all
was
turned
no
off.
one
changed.
in the streets.
It was
There was
nobody
no
Not
in the
one in the
And
one
street.
then it
person.
streets.
was,
Not one
You
person.
noticed how everybody
and then it,
initially when the video started, they were all cheering. They were like, "Yeah, yeah, ah, 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 ah." But the moment they started really seeing shit, like the facial expressions switched up. They started looking
yeah,
like,
but then
"Hold
they wouldn't
on."
turn it off because the girl was like, I can't watch this. It's been going on for hours because they told her, the lady told him, like, don't rush it because they're going to think you eager and you're going to enjoy it. They said, don't rush it, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but his wife
And
turned
it
on
was
him.
crazy because
His wife
Hold
they
said,
on.
let the girl
That's my
go
food. Hold
30
on.
minutes before he started doing the act.
Yeah, but his wife turned around and said, I don't want you to touch me no more. Like, would you be able
The
to?
wife would have. The wife would have let that little girl die. That wife already
But you
killed her
know
off in the
what?
head. Like once she found out, oh, he
Also,
got a pork and pig, she already killed them off. She like, oh, that
Yeah,
little girl's dead.
yeah. And it's interesting because the wife, she said something that really had me thinking like, okay, this bitch must be like a psychiatrist or something. Like I feel like she's like dealt with people leading up to her marrying, I guess, the president, but they don't do presidents in, I think, Great Britain. They do something else. But the wife
Senator or something
says,
like that.
the wife mentioned, she was like, and I quote, she was like, I know people, we love humiliation. So I thought that was interesting when she made that quote too, because it's like she already knows that people are
yeah,
already thinking of him fucking this pig already. And they're all gonna tune in to watch to see if he really do it.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, that first episode of Black Mirror, season one, episode one, the national anthem, was the episode that got me tuned in to the rest of the episodes. And
yeah.
I
I want to
can't
see the
even
rest of
lie,
the
Yeah,
season. Like,
definitely.
I'm gonna have to see the rest of the season.
it's
Like, it
and
wasn't like a Twilight Zone to me.
each
It's not a
episode
Twilight
is.
Zone to me, but it's
So let
interesting
me
to
ask y'all
see.
something. Do y'all think he would have did it if not for social media? Because if y'all noticed, like initially when the video was mentioned that it was uploaded on YouTube, they said that they got it taken down, but it was spread within 9 minutes. Within the first 9 minutes of it being up, it was able to be shared, spread, recorded, all of that stuff. So to think like in 9 minutes, damn, like this shit is crazy. Do y'all
Sweet
think
sugar
he
cane.
would have done
Yes, we
it
talking
if
about Black
not
Mirror.
for outsiders' opinions? Like if there was no such thing as YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and stuff, do you think it still would have happened?
True. But I think no. I don't think he
Um,
would have did it. I don't think he would have did it. If there was no YouTube or nothing like that, I don't think it would have been that
nah. I
extreme.
mean,
You frozen? Oh, I
mhm.
thought you were frozen.
What you eating? That
the
shit
the
look good. I
social
don't
the
know.
social media just pushed. I mean, pizza. The social media just pushed his hand a little bit
Hmm.
more than before.
Yeah, but I don't think he would have. I don't
Like,
think it would have been that extreme.
Same. I don't think it would have been that extreme either. Like I don't think he would have done it if not for social
He
media
wasn't
and its
not.
influence.
I don't. I don't
He
think.
no, it
wasn't
would
going to do it.
it would have happened.
He wasn't
What you
going
got
to
what you got
do.
to
No, he
realize is
wasn't
that
going to do it. He wasn't going to
mm,
do what he was going to do was have them. Because they told him that the people wasn't gonna think nothing wrong of you if you didn't do it. So he wouldn't have did it if that lady wouldn't have done what she did. When she did what she did, she kind of triggered the media to be like, "Oh, he got to do it now." You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
That was
no,
Yeah,
the
but
what
But
did it
her plan
was
would have been successful. Her plan would have been successful if not for that guy coming out of the building when the actor was
and taking a
going
picture
inside the building and he took that picture. Once he took that
and took a
picture,
picture.
but yep, Buddy got a hold on and he realized, okay, this is just about to be some sort of act. And that's how he
Mm-hmm.
was able to find out. So again,
But
if it was not for social media, do you think it would have happened the way it did?
yeah, yeah, it would have happened.
I don't
Because
think it would
the
have
reason,
happened. If
if
it wasn't for
listen,
social media,
if everything
that guy would
plays
not have
out,
gotten out.
but listen, if everything would have played out the way that it had played out, minus the social media, it would have
Hmm.
still happened because everything that affected them wasn't social media. The only thing that social media did was spread the news quicker. They
Exactly, and
went
that
listen, they
and they
chased
got people.
they went into a building, they swatted a building, and the nigga wasn't there. He had the airwaves on lock. This was gonna happen or this girl was gonna die. All social media did was spread the news quicker. If it wasn't for social media, what you think the news would have spread a little bit slower, but it still would have gotten out there.
Yeah, it still would have gotten out there. If it wasn't for social media having its effect on people and the way it did, it wouldn't. I think it would not have happened. I think what would have happened was the guy. He probably would have pursued to do the pig. Like I think her plan would have worked. I do think it would have worked. Like her, like having the guy put on a green mask and like just editing the president's face on the body. I think that would have worked.
I think the guy that set that whole thing up, if he was smart enough to set that whole thing up and get away with it, because even though he killed himself, he went out on his own terms. He got away with it. I think he would
Hmm.
have figured out that that wasn't him. I think he would have figured out that it was,
he gave. They said it though.
something
They said
else.
his technology was good because he gave information. Like he was specific on how he wanted it recorded. Like he was very specific.
Yeah.
Not to keep you on the blunt, but my food. He was very specific. He wanted one camera.
Yeah.
He wanted it rotating. Like he had a certain way so that you couldn't fool him with that. That's why they got the
Hmm.
best guy to deal with it. And that guy was like, "What you're asking for is damn near impossible." They was like, "Well, make it possible." And that's when he was like, "Okay, that's when they tried." But that's not how. I don't think
I
without
think it would
social
have
media
worked. I think he would have still got it.
I
I
think
don't
without
think he would
social
have
media
got
he
it.
wouldn't have had to.
True.
Nah, I think he still would have had support the porker, even with social media.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think, well, if it wasn't for social media, the video wouldn't have got out in the first place. Because it was
Mm-hmm.
uploaded on YouTube initially, but then it was taken down. And within those 9 minutes of it being up, it was able to be
Yeah.
shared and all of that stuff. So I think, yet again, social media, we create our own demise, you know? So it's like, we kind of did it on ourselves.
Now our names
We're
are
the
gonna
ones
disappear
that did
again, and
it
we're
to
gonna know what
ourselves.
happened. Our
But
name's gonna disappear.
What's
We're gonna
going
know what happened.
you
What's
said
going on
what?
with Joey, man?
I don't know.
Did he come back?
No.
Nah, he didn't. I don't know where he at. It's probably that new Wi-Fi box that he's trying, that Verizon Wi-Fi box.
No.
They gave him a
Probably
free
was
You
being
know,
trial.
he
It's only
ignorant.
said he was
15
gonna get
minutes.
two. You know, he said he was gonna get two. He probably
I
Yeah,
got
I
believe
think
that
he
two.
got
too.
one. Come on, there you go. So, but you ain't you. Did you like it, Laura? Though, like that, it was just that one episode that you didn't like, the Star Trek one.
Hold on, I'm gonna get to y'all. Give me a second.
You know what episode I do think she'll like flip out on? I
uh,
think she'll probably flip out on the one where the girl she relived that one day for the rest of her life. Think you know what I'm talking
yeah.
about?
Mm-hmm.
First of all,
Yeah.
my issue with that one episode is that, like I said, I watch it, but if the initial episode doesn't catch you, you know, it's like reading a book. It's just like you go into it with that, they gotta really pick up for me to really be feeling it, and I don't know if that's gonna be the case. Like, you know, I watch it. We agreed to it. I will watch it, but I'm gonna say that episode did deter me in the beginning because I was like, "What the fuck is this shit about? Like, this shit is crazy." But I did like the one, the national anthem. The other two I see, and I'm really interested. I'm really liking the one I'm watching now, which is the one with the guy from Get Out.
So you on episode 2?
No,
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's
another
episode
one.
2.
That's another
That's
one.
episode 2. But I
yeah.
watched episode
Yeah.
3 first.
Episode
I
two
watched
is yeah.
episode season 4. As Boo Boo said, I guess it was season 4. I watched season 4. Then I watched
Hmm.
episode half of episode 3. Then I went and watched the whole episode 1. Then I went back and finished episode 3. So I said, "Fuck it, I might as well do episode 2." I watched the rest of them. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
So I'm watching that one now, and I'm definitely interested in that one. Has got my attention a little bit, but like I said, I could see what you said, the whole technology thing. I could definitely see that. I could definitely get
Yeah.
that like about technology, and that's not a problem for me. You know, the different ways technology affects us. I get it, but I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it at the end of this. So the episode
Yeah.
was cool.
I think you're
I
gonna
felt
be
like
head spun about it. I do think you're probably gonna be head
I think
spun
that I
about it.
want more though. I do want more. Like I would have
Oh, they got
preferred
a lot
like
more.
no for each
Mhm.
episode. Like I would have definitely preferred. Like there were some questions I wanted to
You want
know.
to see the you want to see it all carried out. That's what you want. You want to
No,
see
no,
it
no, no. You
No,
know what?
fully
Like
no,
okay,
explode.
no. What you got to remember is
let
that
me see the no. Let me
this
see the
is
national. Let me say the national anthem. Let me start with that one. In my mind, the woman set it up from the gate because how Boo said that the guy, you know, he killed himself at the end, and he cut off his finger. Like he never harmed the princess, and he made
yeah,
sure like he let her out when he knew everybody was gonna be. But what he never knew that everybody was gonna be hiding. You understand what I'm saying? He had no knowledge that this man was really gonna do it. You understand? That's how I felt. Like I felt like there was no, you know, like, oh yeah, he's definitely on it. You know what I mean? There was no he was gonna do it like even in the because remember they went and started it. So I wondered if the lady led him to that and that was the whole plan because it seemed like a setup on him. Like it was like, why would you out of all things what you asked for is to free her to degrade me? What did I do to be
You
degraded?
know
You you
Well,
know.
no, Lord, I do. I gotta say, I don't think that. I think because when you
But
say
that's what I'm saying.
that,
I would like some more information. I
Yeah,
wanted
I
some more
think he
information.
knew. I think he knew that it was going in this extent because he
Yeah.
looked like, for me, when you looked at his background, when you looked at the TV he was watching it on, it was, wait, where's everybody at?
I'm here. I hear you. I'm just
Girl, don't
Lord
sipping
just
on
nobody
the
trying to
care
scissor.
about you eating on camera. Where Boo Boo at?
I'm listen. I got kids. I got to
Oh,
discipline, and unfortunately, what we call
oh,
discipline is a case. So I gotta,
yeah.
we not back in the '90s no more. We not back in the '90s no more. So we can't get away with certain things.
Technology will get
true.
you.
You can't. I swear, yo. The cop looked at me
I
the
don't
other
believe in
day
evidence.
when I went to grab the baby because he was running from me. And I went to grab him. The cop looked at me like he was about to arrest me. I can't grab my own child for running.
But let him have running the street. Let him have running the street. They'd have been arresting your ass for child endangerment.
For child endangerment. Uh huh.
Hmm.
That's why them Karens need to mind their business, man. It's a Karen's
Hmm.
fault.
Oh no, I went to the Verizon store in Staten Island, and there was a real live Karen in there. Like she was complaining about everything. What's this charge? What's that charge? What's this charge? Man, that you got to call corporate number to find out. Why do I got to call corporate number if I did it in the store? Like, I had to get out. Like, you know, it made me want to smoke a cigarette. I haven't smoked in months. That shit made me want to smoke a cigarette. Like a real live person. Like,
They out there, people.
So,
Beware the Karens. They got the eye on you.
they got the Ricky eye.
always got their eye on you.
Uh-huh. All right, so Joey,
But
man.
back to what I was saying, I do think Laura he would have carried it out anyway because if you notice the guy, he took it to the furthest extent to make sure this plan was played out. Like you said, he cut off his own finger. He didn't harm the girl. If you notice, like in the background, like his setup, look at the TV he was watching the news on. Look at his surroundings. Like it wasn't up to par. Like he was, very much living in a hut and his technology wasn't up to par. He still had the box TV and shit. But
Yeah.
I
And
do
that's
think
my
he
point.
knew. I do think he knew it would have played
That's
out.
what my point was.
I think because he put this shit on social media, I think he knew very well that it would play out the way he wanted, and that's why he killed himself in the end. Because he didn't even have a motive.
But that's my point.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Like there
That's
was
my
no
point.
motive. There was no
No,
This is my
yes, he
point.
anything.
did.
If you
Listen, the
look at
man, the man sit there. Y'all got to remember when he died, right? I mean, when she died, and they show who the man was and everything. Remember the little details that they put into his shop. They showed his face. There was a picture of a girl hanging or something like that. Right now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm actually rewatching it, the ending, just to see what it was with him because I'm like, damn, why did he do this to this guy? I'm
no,
actually
but this was my
rewatching it
point.
right
It
now.
was
It could have.
But
I
what did you
think it
see?
had to do with his wife.
Yeah,
He didn't
had
have a
something to do.
wife.
He did have a
He
wife.
didn't have a wife.
The
Talking about the
prime minister
president.
had a wife and had a baby.
The prime minister wife ain't had nothing to do with this. Why would you think that the prime minister wife would put her own husband through something like that?
No,
No, no, no, no. I'm not
I
saying
don't
no.
no,
I'm
no,
not
think.
saying
no,
she
I
not
think
had
it
her.
was a
anything. You
social
missing it.
experiment. It was definitely a
No,
social
no, 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 no.
experiment.
But this is listen to
It
you.
was a
Listen how you're
social
confusing with
experiment.
that. But listen how you're confusing with that. You just said this man didn't have no technology, yet he was so professional in technology. So it leads me to believe that there was somebody that was leading him. So if he did what he did for a
It was a
reason,
social
the only thing I
experiment
could think
too.
of is the wife, and the only reason I could think of the wife is because at the end, which bugged me out with his wife, not that she set it up, that maybe she was the reason. Maybe that guy lost her to the prime minister. I
No,
don't know the
Laura.
situation. No, but what I'm saying to
I
you,
don't
no, I'm
know.
just saying, I'm explaining to you. Listen, I'm explaining to you this. At the end, the wife she was still mad at him for having sex with the pig. But I couldn't get
Right.
why
Yeah.
a year later, because at the end, I couldn't get why a year later you're still mad at him. When in all reality,
Why
he
would you
did that
not be
to
mad at
save
him
somebody.
still?
Why
I would
would
not be
you?
mad at
He
my
said,
listen. If my
A year
husband
later,
had
that
sex with
don't
an
matter, bro.
animal,
You
my
take
husband
your
had
dick
sex with an
inside of
animal
an
to
animal out,
save
now some
somebody's life. Because he didn't have sex with this animal for fun. He didn't get caught fucking a chicken because he was horny. He had sex to save a person's life. I could not penalize him for that. I get
you
being mad in the
couldn't
beginning.
penalize
Okay.
him for that, Lord, but somebody else could very well
A
penalize him
year
for it.
later, no. A year
Yes.
later,
Listen,
that's too
the
long
grudges I
for her
hold
to
are
be mad.
forever sometimes.
so
I'm
question,
still not talking to people
question,
right now.
question.
Hold on. I hear
So
you.
would you have let, if you was in the prime minister's shoes, would you have let that girl die?
Yes. Yes.
That's
Because
bad.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. For one, I would have thought it was very fishy because, again, there was no motive. There was no ransom being asked of. There was nothing. We're talking about somebody has kidnapped the fucking princess. The princess, they stated, America's sweetheart, the one who cares about nature and shit. Like this is a huge ordeal. And for somebody to not ask for something in return, it's just a little off. It'll be a
So
little trigger warning for me.
so you call
It'll raise questions. Definitely
you
raise
would have called a
questions for
bluff.
me.
You would have called a bluff. Now what if
I
they
would
would
have
have killed
called their
Shorty?
bluff, and I definitely would
And
have
what
got
if,
on national television, and I would have told them that my morals as a human being, because it's not like he went out to try and talk to the people. He tried to keep this as far away from like talking about it as possible. Like if you're the prime minister, the people believe in you. They believe in your word. You know what I mean? So it's like, why would you not go out there to say something like, "Listen, I can't do this. As a human being, I just physically cannot do this.
but do you see the dilemma?
That's gonna be a life we gotta take.
But you see the
Sorry,
dilemma?
that's gotta be a life
Okay.
we gotta take. We gotta
So okay,
respect it.
so she get
But did
killed.
you hear when the woman told them at the end that they couldn't guarantee the safety of his family?
Yeah,
Did you hear that part of
and
them
I was
when she told them that?
while you mentioned that, Lord, I was actually gonna add on to something, but conversations kept going. I forgot. But that just goes to show how strong, how powerful people are because she was like the queen herself. It's the queen herself. It's other leaders in Great Britain who are all on board with you going out to do something like this. Like, and if you don't do it, we can't guarantee your safety. So it's like if she does die, people are gonna be looking at you crazy
They're gonna go after his
and
child,
want
his
to
wife.
confront you about it. So it's like at the end of the day,
But they would.
our hands are tied. We can't protect you from no shit like that. But again, I feel like if you would have went out, made a statement, made the people believe him, I think it would have been a different story. It probably would have been a different story. Like, cause for instance, I hate to say it, but Barack Obama, if Barack Obama was in a situation like that, right, where God forbid somebody was kidnapped and he had to perform something like that, do you honestly believe he would have done that, or do you think he would have sat there and went out and start talking to the people and have them believe his word?
That I couldn't. It's a
If
toss up.
No, it's not.
you
Barack
can't
Obama would
say,
not
it's
have done
hard to
that.
say, but it's like you can't say that. You don't know what he would do to save somebody. You don't know the lengths that he'll go
Son,
through.
come on. We're talking about Barack
You don't
Obama,
know the
who's a
lengths that.
Muslim.
Listen,
He don't even eat pork. You mean to tell me he? I'm sorry,
that's
Bookie.
right.
That's
Fuck
not
that
no.
pig. That's right.
No,
Pork
he's
that
not
pig.
fucking no pig. He's not having sex with no pig.
So
Like,
Christina,
come on.
You don't
Christina,
He's
know.
not doing
my question to you is, if one of my children was in that situation, right, and I'm like the prime minister, how would I have? What would be my decision? Let my child die or save my
Well,
child?
for one, again, you gotta look at these steps. You know, like you gotta look at what's going on. Like they didn't even ask for a ransom for this bitch.
Nope.
There was no motive
But
That
behind it.
man.
They did it
That
just
man
to do
just.
it. They did
That
it to
man.
see if he would do it. That was the only motive. That was the only thing
Hmm.
driving behind it. He only wanted to see if
and
the
he
prime
did it.
minister would do it. And he
And he
did
did
it.
it.
And he killed
You know
And he
what?
himself.
got him to do it.
And he killed himself.
But do you know
Hmm.
why he did it? Think about it. When they turn around and say
I
that,
think it was a social experiment. He wanted to
okay,
see if he would really do it or not.
yeah, but if this is the princess and the queen and everybody telling me they're not worried about my safety, I have a child and a wife. So either I save my child and a wife, God forbid this person dies, or
People die every
go
day.
do this. Yeah, you don't know
I hate to
what
be
was the
selfish
aspect.
like that, but I'm sorry. I'm no, no. That's like
Yeah.
telling
But
somebody like you gotta get fucked by horse.
people do that all the
No.
time on porn. It's
There's people
pure
that do
porn
it.
such, and they
There's people
really
that
do it.
do it.
They like really do it.
Yo,
Like and it's crazy.
I'm sorry, but
it's
I
just
can't.
that's just one of those situations that you won't know, ever know until you in the situation. Boy, come on.
Because sometimes you
But
gotta
that
do
right there,
certain things.
man.
But that shit made me want to
I don't
watch
know.
it more. Just because watching that made me think, what would you? Because in my head I was thinking, I went to sleep, I was looking at the baby, I was talking to my daughter, and it's like, would I do that to save somebody else's life to save my children? Because at the end of the day,
But it
social
wasn't even
Hmm.
media,
his child. It was somebody else's. Like, and
yeah,
that's
but you gotta
another
Yeah.
understand,
thing. Like,
he had a baby, but he
it's
had a baby
somebody
with a wife.
else's kid. Like,
But you
You
had a
know what?
baby and a
You
wife.
gotta you gotta look at it. You gotta look at it at how they look at it. This isn't a regular person. This nigga kidnapped um
The
fam a
princess.
family member of royalty, a princess. You know how sophisticatedly nice you have to be to kidnap the princess. We can't even get close to Trump, and half the world hate that nigga. In order for you to kidnap a princess, and
You had to
then nobody finds you, like you can't be found. That's why I think at the end of it all, he was going to do it because it was like this guy's one step ahead of everybody, and there's nothing they could do about it. So now the thing
sis
is,
would have
do
had
I
to
let her
die.
die and get
She would have died.
hated by the world,
She would
or
have
do I
died. I
just
would
suck it up
agree. Sis
and
definitely been
uh,
hated by the world.
I really think,
I
honestly,
would
when
at
he
you
least
listen
decided
to
not
what
to
have.
be
y'all
hated
said,
by the world, and
I would at least have to
just
talk myself out of it, or talk the people out of thinking that I'm gonna do some bullshit
no.
like this.
You
I
see
like
what would have happened to me,
yeah.
and I'm gonna go with what Christina said. If I wasn't gonna do it, I would have stepped down.
Michael Callow put in an assured performance at a public appearance today, accompanied by his wife Jane.
That's you.
Give me a minute. I'm watching something.
I would have stepped down. I would have stepped down as prime
Mm.
minister.
yeah, same.
You gonna step
I couldn't
down?
do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would have stepped down. So right there.
Why you not going to the queen
Uh,
with this
uh,
shit? Like, why you not going to them with this bullshit? Like, why you coming to me with this shit?
Cause they probably voted against him and he still won. That's what it is. That's what we need to do to Trump. Yeah, we need to take something
Don't
that
say
Trump
that now.
loves
You
so
know I'm
much,
starting to.
and
They gonna start
get
fucking up.
get him porka.
Right. Give him the pork. That's if he ain't been already doing it at them
Yeah,
Illuminati meetings. Cause
that's
you know I ain't too happy about that bullshit. They be on some other shit.
Ah, supposedly.
But but yeah, so on a
Yeah,
scale
I
of one
mean,
to
And
10, I rate the episode of Black Mirror National Anthem. I'm gonna be honest, I do rate it an 8 out of 10 and not necessarily a 10 out of 10 because I do agree with Laura in some aspects. Like I do think it was missing some stuff. I'm not gonna lie, it was definitely missing elements. However, it wasn't a bad thing. You know, like I wasn't pressed for not having those elements. Like I think the story was told in a way that could fit 20. How long was it? Like 45 minutes, I think. Like I think
Mm-hmm.
it told a story within those 45 minutes that I was able to get and move on from it.
It's
So I do
nasty.
give it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
I give it the same.
Um,
I give it the same. I just feel like
probably go with a
for the
seven.
first
I
episode,
need to go seven.
I feel like for the first episode for the first season at an 8, it was a good startup because that's what caught my attention with all the Black Mirrors.
Hmm.
After that, I started watching it. There's
Yeah,
more to
same.
come. There's more better ones to
It
come,
is
man.
more to come. It
You
is.
got you got to hit them other series because, like I said, this season was just the startup. They wasn't sure how it was gonna affect because it's like a modern day Twilight Zone. You know,
Hmm.
back in the
Yeah.
days, everything back then was aliens. Everything was aliens and Bigfoot. Nowadays, everything's technology. So they switched it from all aliens and probing to technology and shit.
Yeah.
So, but I think it was a good startup. I think it was a good thing to catch the attention. Got me watching it, and I can't wait to rewatch all
Yeah.
of them all over again because I love the show.
All over again.
Um,
Laura.
I'm gonna
Can
say
y'all
a
hear me?
seven. Yeah, I hear you, Macho. I'm gonna say a 7 out of 10 only because, like I said, those elements I kind of wanted to know a little more. I guess the way my mind functions, I function differently. So those things are like, I could see, like I said, I'm a couple episodes in now, and I could definitely understand the way it's going. So I don't have a problem with that, but definitely would have preferred a little more. You know,
Mm.
my preference, I would have definitely preferred a little more of, like a motive. You understand what I'm saying? Or, some questions. Like I had a couple of things that I would have rather, even if they didn't answer it, because I've watched like a hella Harry Potters. Even if they didn't answer it, but something that they made you understand, like hinted towards it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I would have been okay with like a hint towards, like, okay, well, this person was kind of involved in the help the setup. That's how all this, just a hint towards something that make me be like, oh, okay. So I definitely, it was
But
cool.
that's the
It wasn't
thing, though,
bad.
Lord. It wasn't a setup, though.
But that's what it felt like. That's the impression I'm getting. Like, well, it didn't feel. It felt like everything it gave me was a setup without a person. Because there were certain things, like you said, that didn't make sense. Like they show, like you said, you look at his place. He just looked like a guy watching the news when you first see him in the beginning. You don't know that he has the girl tied up and he's gonna do all that. And then his intention was never to harm her, right? Never his intention. So he did what he did to pretend like he was harming her. You understand what I'm saying? To get him to feel like he had to do it. But if they would have gotten away with it, he would have still released her. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like there was something, they was somebody a part of it. Because what's the chance of them saying they see a stripper? Okay. A porn star. He's going into this place. That didn't have to be that situation. You understand what I'm saying? How did he know if he doesn't have technology? How did he know that if he's not on Twitter, if he's not on Facebook, if he's not, how was he, and that's how I felt. Like, you can't say he's not a part, he wasn't really into technology, but he had all these technical information. He did a technical setup. So somebody was a part of that. So now my thing was, who was a part of it? You understand what I'm saying?
I think he was a
Was
part of it
it
by himself. I think it was a social experiment. I think he
okay, but
posed
how did he
questions.
know? Listen, a social experiment for somebody who watches social media is one thing, but you pointed out a valid point. He was not linked to social media like me, you, Joey. He didn't have that kind of
But not
access.
me.
No, but I'm saying, but
I
he
ain't
didn't
like
have
that
that
like
kind of
that.
access. You had that kind of access. You just now don't have that kind of access. But you understand what I'm
But no,
saying?
no,
He
but
didn't have
it
that.
was uploaded on YouTube, granted. Like it was only
But
uploaded
that's
on
my point.
YouTube.
That was the thing. He uploaded it on YouTube. He did all
Hmm.
these things. So in my mind, somebody helped him because he didn't appear as the most technical person. That's why I said it led me to believe that there was another party. And then when he committed suicide at the end, like he didn't know how they were going to find him. He didn't know if she was going to tell him where they were. He didn't know anything. if he had no access. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I felt like it, and that's the part that I was missing. Like I just wanted some. It felt like a setup, and I felt like there was somebody missing out the setup. But like I said, it was
Okay.
okay. It was a good episode.
Joey.
Who's next?
Oh,
Okay,
Joey.
Macho Man.
Uh, I rated it at 8.5
8.5.
Okay.
because honestly, I think, yeah, I think he did what he had to do with
Oh,
it, and
that's
I
what he
believe,
did.
like Laura said, and you said, it's a social experiment. But they wanted to see what he was going to do. Um, it made me interesting to see what else what they got in store for us for the next few episodes. Because if somebody could
Now I
do
will
something like
say,
that,
hmm
I'm like, and it brought me back to Social Dilemma. Go to your chair. Hey, sister, go to your chair. No, leave it plugged in. No,
Says Christina getting pretty.
she about to
girl,
go
it's
out.
just lip gloss. Child, my
Um,
So
lips
I
is
just
I
put
chapped.
mine
really
on.
feel like
Okay.
it's a good situation to think about, like Social Dilemma, and then to think about that episode that the whole country stopped what they was doing just to watch this one
Yeah,
man do something.
because the
I
news
believe
said
that
it was a
Loris,
world phenomenon. Yeah,
but I do believe that it was a setup. It could have been a setup
I
from
don't
the
believe it was
princess.
a setup.
It could have been a setup from the royal family because you cannot go into Buckingham Palace. They show and things. There's guards everywhere, everywhere,
But
every
that's not
little
how she was
thing.
captured, though.
Yeah, that's not how she was
She was
captured.
captured. She was, and that's the thing that bugged me out. She was captured going to a last minute wedding of a friend.
Hmm.
That's why I said it had to be. A lot of that
It
felt
has
like
to
it
be.
had to be a setup. Because if you're going to a friend's wedding and we know months in advance, I could set up something. But the only people privy, and they said they was shot with sedative and they were still unconscious. Her protection. So this is what I'm saying. Like it felt like it led it to a setup. It was supposed to be like a setup, but somebody just didn't.
You
And
know,
then
now
So
so
that
let me
y'all say
ask
that,
you this:
like that,
you think it was
not
too
now
much?
that I'm
It was
hearing y'all side,
it was too perfect for one man. It was too perfect for a one man job.
for somebody who's not really who didn't have that
you
much
know,
technology in the parts that we were saying, like you said, he was had a old school TV. He wasn't into
But I
technology like
mean,
that.
he had
Yeah,
to have some sort of access to YouTube.
everybody has access. I'm not saying he
You
didn't, but
know,
hold
I'm
on.
just saying like it
I
makes you
think
think.
I think
Yeah, boo. Yeah, boo. Boo.
my bad.
the last I'm thinking about it now. Like I'm hearing y'all saying that, and I'm thinking about it. If y'all remember the ending when the guy called the secretary, the lady, and he said they found her, and he said yeah, he let him go. He let her go by half an hour. The finger was a male. Remember that guy that called to give the information?
Yeah.
Now that I'm hearing y'all side of how it might have been an inside job, you don't think that nigga was smiling a little hard?
Yes, too hard to
Rewatch the
me.
end. He was smiling
Yeah, but
bad
he was the
hard.
one. No,
He
no,
was
no,
smiling
no. But remember, he was
OD
the
hard.
one. He was the one that was sending the reporter sent the little nasty. She was Snapchatting her
The
cookies too,
information.
and he was giving her
The
information, and
That
information.
that's
was
how
the
she got
dude.
to the location. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the same dude. That he was
Mm-hmm.
like, he was like, no comment at this time, and she went in the bathroom and said, "Ching ching," and he all of a sudden was like, "Oh, let me give you a little more information," and then she went in the
Hmm.
bathroom and Snapchatted them cookies, and he was like, "Oh, they're gonna be here." That's how she got shot. And I like how they shot her phone and said, "There go your
Mm-hmm.
footage." Like, fuck that bitch. I like that. Cause I was like, yeah, fuck her. But I was mad at cause you see that they was running towards you. Why would you not just stop? All you had to do was hang up your phone and say, "Listen, I'm a reporter. I'm a reporter. I'm a reporter." Like, why would you run
True.
from the police?
Girl,
So
what
when
you
they
mean? Why
shot
would you
her,
run for the
and then they
police,
was like,
girl?
"Oh,
You in a place where you know you ain't got no business being in, and the
listen, they weren't
uneducated
shooting
police.
at her until she ran. You ain't noticed that they broke the window to shoot her? They wasn't doing that. They
Mhm.
was running after her. So she would have been at the door like, listen,
That's so
and they
true.
would have probably arrested her. They would probably
Took her
arrested her,
camera.
but
Took
she
her
wouldn't
camera.
have and they wouldn't, and she could have just said, I was just a reporter. She was like, they, from the way they were watching, they thought that they were in front of the princess, and she thought the news thought the police was in front of the princess, and they realized it was a mannequin. So yeah, no. I was like, but she Snapchat the cookies, so. But like I said, it felt like it could have been like a little bit of side. Like it was just like they hinted to a side person, but it was a side
But
person. That's the part I had in. That was my
I
issue
think
with it.
if it was an inside job, it was that guy because that guy was pushing for him to pork the pig. So I think if it was an inside job, it was that
Could have
guy.
been. Could have been.
I think he had a part in
Yeah,
it.
I'm still gonna stick on my I think it was just a social experiment. The guy, he honestly
But it,
Well,
just wanted to see if he would do the
it could have
trick,
been a
and
setup for a
but
social
I actually
experiment.
initially in the
he
beginning,
did it,
I thought it was the princess.
huh?
I thought it was the princess. In the beginning, I thought it was the princess.
Same. I
You know
did
why I thought it was the
too. I
princess?
did too.
Because the way she walked at the end, like when they found her, she was walking, she was fine. And then she just collapsed.
Mm.
And then people walked, and then they helped her up, and she was. So I was like, yo, you was screaming like he cut off your finger. Because she was screaming like he cut off her finger. But
True.
he didn't cut off her finger. You see what I'm saying? When he did the
It could have
cut
been
of
a
his
Mm.
own
reaction to
finger,
her, to him cutting off his own finger.
she
It could
was
have been a reaction.
no. She didn't see him cutting off his own finger. She remember he did it
He was
behind her.
behind her. Yeah, he was
And
behind
she
her.
was, and he grabbed her hands, and she was like, ah, 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 and then he brought the finger forward, so it gave you to believe that it was her finger. Now he could have told her that, "Do scream or I'll kill you," but we don't know what he said before. But a lot of it was like, really, like you was by yourself on that. Like a lot of that felt.
It's
So I got
those
that. So that's what I'm saying. That's how I felt.
But I do agree it
misinterpretations.
was a social experiment, but it could have been a
It was.
setup.
Listen, it could have been. He. I don't feel like he acted alone. I feel like he had help, and
Probably.
I feel like
But he killed himself
and
afterwards, so
yeah,
nobody would ever know.
exactly. That's my point. But we're gonna sum this conversation up. Definitely gonna work on the rest of this show.
Episode
And
2 is
now,
next week.
dun, 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 Joey with the relationship question. What
Yeah,
you
I
gotta
just
know?
with all this, sum up of everything.
Okay.
I mean, this is to y'all females, not to really to boo to y'all females. But soldier, whoever
Okay.
listens to y'all females, why is it
Oh
when
man,
Okay.
y'all right, y'all want us to apologize forever, but when y'all wrong, y'all never really want to apologize. Y'all don't want to see when y'all wrong.
I'm out of
I
here.
don't Joey, I was gonna say I don't have a problem with I think
Ooh.
wait, ask the first part of the question again.
Oh, I
Okay,
heard the question. I
when a
heard the
woman is
question.
when a woman is right, she'll sit
Okay.
there and
We
she'll
always
make
right.
she'll sit
Uh-huh.
there and say, "Oh, you're right, you're right. We have to apologize. We have to make up a lot of shit." But
Laura
when
Rocket.
she's wrong and she's proven wrong, we don't get the apologies. We don't get the makeup. We don't get none of that because y'all still want to
First of
prove
all,
that y'all right.
I'm gonna let Christina go
Because
first
even
because
though
she
we
young.
was, because
Oh,
even
I'm
though
gonna
they was wrong, we was wrong.
you can have this. You can have this.
First of all, I'm about to say that a
Even though
woman
we
is
right, we
right
wrong.
99.9% of the time. That 0.1%, we're not giving you credit for. We've been right. If I'm right 30 times and you right once, why I gotta give you the same energy you give me? I've been right 30 times. You shouldn't question me 30 times. Then that one time, what the hell, Christina? Then that one time, then that one time I'm not right. You should just sum that up like, all right, I got that, I got that. Shut up. Like that's it. It's once.
No, that's not right.
That is right.
No,
But listen, at the end of the
no.
day, it's not that it's not even about things. It's that women, it just boils down to me to as women view men. Women are more sensitive and we're more emotional. So we view men as the protector. So we don't expect to coddle you and to cater to you like that when you're right. We expect you to do it to us because we're more emotional, we're more sensitive, and it all depends on the dynamic of the relationship. Like you can have people that you're friends with or that you're in a relationship with, and if they're right all the time and you're wrong, you apologize to make them understand that your intention wasn't to challenge their views or whatever the situation is, depending on what the whole situation is. And when
Shit.
they're
That's
as a
fucking
man,
nasty.
when you're right, it's like we're like, well, you're the man. We expect you to eat to be okay with being right and just have that. Like we don't need to cater to your
But soldier,
sensitive side, your emotional side, stroke your ego. Because as women, we stroke your ego in other ways for other things. It has nothing to do with me, right? When a man is down, a woman's job is to keep stroking his ego. So that's how I see. So if you're right, you know what I mean?
if I'm
If you're
right,
right, we do. Says that sounds like a selfish person to me. Maybe you need to choose your woman wisely. And that's another thing. Men spend half the time trying to be the man, and they don't let their guard down to the woman they want to be with. So a woman is always expecting you to stay that same front. And the minute that you're right, she's like, "Well, when I'm right, we done had an argument 30 times about it. Now I'm all emotional, I'm crying, right? And then now you got to buy me flowers and make because you done pointed your facts out from the beginning, and we like, oh shit, you're right. All right, cool. We're proving we're wrong. We're proving we're right for because a man never wants to admit he's wrong. Just like a woman would never want to admit. But us women, when a man is when it's men when they come and they women are different. We just say we right because we right. Men, when y'all want it, when y'all right, y'all come with facts. Bam, out the gate. Ain't the facts. Hold that. So we argue for one day. With a woman, we argue for 30 days about this shit. We done told you until we done got the fact. We done went on
so but
social media.
why? But why is that then? Why is that y'all hold that grudge? And we gotta argue for if if
I
I
don't
didn't
hold the
like your
grudge.
dinner, if I didn't like your dinner today, and we argued about it, or I went out with my
Motherfucker,
boys
you
and
could
I
have gotten
ate
that kitchen and cooked.
and I
Because
didn't
we
eat
have
dinner
a
in the house,
response
and
to
I gotta hear
everything.
that shit every day for 30 days until I apologize and bring flowers or make a humongous dinner for y'all.
But listen, if you don't like something, that doesn't have nothing to be right or wrong. That's your opinion. Opinions are like assholes and everybody's got one. But when you chose that woman to eat her cooking, you decided that you liked her cooking. You didn't decide that you liked her cooking because you thought she was good.
You're breaking up, Lord.
I know that now. I restarted. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Look at Boo Boo. Boo Boo gotta go make a baby a bottle.
Now my phone acting up. Don't be acting up now, boo.
Yeah, Lord, you're lagging a lot. You're lagging.
It's
So when
because
you
when you're doing it from the hotspots from your phones, a lot of times they don't, depending on the service and everything, it might not think. That's what was my problem last week. It kept knocking me off.
So with that being said, your question is why is it that when we're wrong, um, and you guys apologize, there's nothing wrong with it. But when y'all are wrong,
No, and
then
yo,
we
when
never want to
women are wrong,
apologize.
when women are wrong,
Right.
they still fight
And
to get the point across. And we still have to apologize to y'all, even though we're right. We're showing you facts, like Laura said, facts and everything, and we're showing you this, but you're sitting there saying that, okay, or y'all shrug it off like, okay, I was wrong. Okay, what's you do? Move on. But when y'all wrong, y'all want to keep it going every day to make sure
no
we
no no.
know he was wrong.
But it all depends on, like I said, it depends on the situation. You have to give like a specific, like
it
scenarios are
depends on the
all
situation,
vary.
and it also depends on the person.
And no, but the problem to me with most men, they get in relationships and they're guarded. So like as women, we're guarded when we get in a relationship, but as we fall in love, we start to release that guard and we seek comfort in that man or that woman, whoever you with. However, with men, I find that they stay guarded. So it's like if a man is too emotional, we don't like him. If he's not emotional enough, we don't like him. So like the thing is that when you don't express your emotions, because I find to me personally, men got a problem saying when there's a problem.
True.
Like I gotta pull your teeth to find out something's wrong. But if I got a problem, I'm gonna let you know from the beginning. We find out
But
you're right only when we done started the whole argument and then you prove that you're right. So it
yeah,
all
but
depends.
that's stuff
You
that
know,
we
it
was
all depends
raised.
on the situation.
It, Joey,
Yeah,
it depends on the person you're dealing with. Let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
In Sawanda's eyes, I love her. I love her to death. Sawanda's eyes, she's always right. You know what I do? You know how I handle that? I let her do it. If I know hopping on the highway at 5 o'clock in the afternoon is gonna be a lot longer than taking the streets, but she insists on taking that highway, we're gonna take the highway
Uh-huh.
together. So when we
Sounds
gotta be
about
there at
right.
5 o'clock and we get there at 5:30, I'm gonna just look at you like we went the way you went. You can't blame me. I learned to just stop fighting it. Don't blame me, because now I'm gonna just do it your way. You want me to jump on one foot while juggling a chainsaw while I'm eating a
I ain't
pizza for
doing
head?
that.
I'm gonna do it.
I ain't
Anything
doing
goes
that.
wrong, that's your fault, because it's your choice. It's your choice.
And you know what she gonna do? They gonna be late, and you know what she gonna say? You could have still took the highway. You didn't have to listen to me. That's exactly gonna be the response.
And,
Cause that's
and
what
you know
we
what my
do.
response to that is? Either way you put it, we was gonna fight. I already know. I listen. I decide.
Yeah,
Is it worth arguing being right, or is it worth arguing being wrong? I rather be
argue either
wrong,
way.
because you want
Yo,
to. I mean, I'd rather be right. You want to know why I'd rather be right? Because the arguments last this long. Because when you right, they don't want you to have that. So they sit there and they argue. Well, you should have did this, you should have did that. And you say okay, and that's it. But when you right, when you wrong, oh my god, that goes on for a week, bro. A week. She wakes up like, oh, I still can't believe you took the highway. Like,
yeah.
like it goes on for a week. So you let her be wrong. You be right. You let her be wrong. Let her do
Did
it.
you read the
Let her make the
comments?
decisions.
Did you read the
Well,
comments? The comments? Hold
Yeah, I'm
on, I
reading.
got you.
Y'all
Push
still
Soldier
posting
said, anyone with any
the
sense
page.
knows we are not always right. Sounds like someone likes to argue. To me, common sense people. That's you, Laura. That's probably to you. You love to argue.
Oh yeah, I
Your
do. I
mom
love
said
to
she
argue
gonna
all
say we
the
left late
time.
because of you.
All the time.
That's the thing that always happens. If you
yeah,
with
you
somebody,
see, there's always listen. Prime
Facts.
example. Prime
They've
example. I got
already
you the
on
prime
time.
example right now. I got you the best example right now. Let me tell you. Let me give you the best example right now, and it was from today. Let me give you the best example. We getting ready to go to Atlantic City, right? Start Monday to Thursday. We having a little trip, right? Cool. So
Hmm.
she sat there and she said, she looked at me dead in my eyes and said, "Boom, boom," because on top of my dresser looks a mess. Can't find nothing. It looks crazy. You know, take off the kids' clothes, you throw it on the dresser, and like it looked crazy. So she looked in my eyes. She said, "Boom, do me a favor, clean the top of that dresser." I said, "Okay." You know what I did? The room was a wreck. Little boys woke up. They Tasmanian devil went crazy. Room was a wreck. I spent all day cleaning the room. I did not touch the dresser. I told her I cleaned the room. She looked at me and said, "Did you do the dresser?" I said,
Hmm.
"No." She said, "So the one thing I wanted you to do, you didn't do."
You
Oh,
didn't
how
do
dare
it.
you?
Boy,
and that's what I'm talking
there
about.
is no.
Everything else is clean with
You
that
know
one
what
part.
you know what I did with that? I said, "I'm sorry." Like, there's no, like, listen, you know what? She's mad. So this is where my point come in case. She was mad about that for 5 minutes, but then she thought about it. He cleaned the room, which means we don't got to clean the room. The dresser with me and him together take 10 minutes because all of a sudden now is a teamwork, is a team effort. When she wasn't here, I had to do it on my own. But now that she's here, it's a team effort. versus me cleaning the room and me cleaning the dresser and leaving the room a wreck. She would have said that. You know what her response would have been? So you mean to tell me you could clean the top of the dresser, but you can't clean the room while you clean the dresser? That's a whole
Mm-hmm.
argument throughout the whole vacation. I'm not doing that. So I sat there. I said, "Fuck it, the lesser two
Yo,
evils."
your mom
I
says
cleaned the
you're
room,
lying. Your mom says you
huh?
lying.
Yeah,
You're
because I didn't
lying.
say okay, huh? Yes,
She
she
did
did.
not say that. Listening to the comments. Yo, if y'all have any questions and answers, you can talk about
Hold
it.
on. She said she didn't say what?
She said she didn't
What she
say
said
that.
she
She
didn't
said you
say.
lying. She didn't say that.
No, but
She did not say
what
that.
did she say?
It
That's what I
says no.
want to
It
know.
says
What
laughing my
part she
ass off.
didn't
He
say?
lying. She did not say that.
Yes,
That's
she
it.
did. She
She
sat
didn't
there
put
and
what she
said,
said.
"But did you clean the dresser?"
Oh, your mother said, my nigga, she came in and made a whole case about it. Then said,
She
well,
said,
you
"My
clean.
dude." She came in, made a whole case about it. Then said, "Well, dude, did you the room? But I asked you to do the dresser." So teamwork make the dream work. They get you.
Yo, Footso said,
Yeah.
boo boo,
Well,
are you
well,
married or
Hey,
still
I
boo
made
boo,
a
you in
long
dating?
story.
trouble.
You're in trouble, bro.
I made a short. I made a long story short. But yeah, she came in. She wilded out. She was mad. We had a whole debate, and yeah, that's what it was. She said, "You did the room, thank you, but I asked you to do the dresser." I'm like, bro, like there's no winning. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, there's no winning. And she's like, no, it's not there's no winning. It's just that, I appreciate it, but that's not what I asked you to do. And I'm like, bro, it was gonna have to get done anyways. I did it. There's
Now,
just
let me tell you the reason
so
why I asked this question. Let me tell you the reason why I asked this question. Because I'm talking to
All
this
right.
one
So
girl,
there's a reason behind this. Okay. One
and
girl.
she said that, yeah, just one.
You
She
say
said
she right.
that,
Hold on, Macho. You said you right. I'm sorry.
no.
Boo boo.
She says certain
yeah,
things are
I'm sorry.
innocent.
Yeah, I gave up. I stopped fighting. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. And for soldier, I'm always in trouble. For soldier, that's why I don't know what trouble looks like. I'm always in trouble. I did it. I don't know what I did, but I did it.
So we was debating yesterday.
All
Me and
right,
her was
Macho.
debating yesterday
Go ahead.
about some stuff that's innocent and not innocent
Mhm.
when you're in a relationship. So I gave up on talking about it, and she was like, "Why did you stop talking?" I said, "Because I'm never going to win the argument." So she said, "Why don't you bring that up in your podcast as the question?" That's why I asked the question.
Oh, cause
That
some
was the
old
basis.
floozy you dealing
Okay,
with
but I
told
want
you
to
to
know what
ask the
was y'all talking about.
question.
What was innocent race question?
Certain text messages
I want to
to
know what
people,
is.
certain text messages. If you're in a relationship, I'm gonna ask Boo Boo. Boo Boo, you married? If you
Yeah.
find out someone is sending
Why
pictures to people in other states of her private areas,
can't
and she tells you it's innocent,
Then
what
she
you gonna say?
Snapchat cookies? No
Yeah.
innocence.
No,
I
not
mean that's cool. I mean, I'm gonna
Damn,
tell her the
that's not
same people you
innocent.
send them pictures to. I'm gonna tell her the same people you send them pictures to. Send them picture of your black eye. Punch it in her face. I don't know. That's no innocent. What?
Shorty thinks that
I was gonna
Shit.
say that's not innocent.
texting, you said texting other people like that is innocent. So we had a whole debate about it. But she was, I was like,
Ooh, no.
that's like, what did I tell her? I said, do you believe in if a man touches a woman's boob in public, is that wrong?
Your girl or just a random?
Your girl,
No, it's
You
not
touch
wrong.
your girl's boob in public? I don't
yeah,
see
or
nothing wrong with
somebody
that.
you're
But
talking to. Look, you're talking to somebody and the dude just touches your boob. I've been a couple
the
days
guy
in.
I'm talking to, hold up, the
Yeah,
guy I'm
Touching.
talking to touches my
You
boob.
want me to pull them
yeah.
out? Like I'm gonna ask them like, you want me to pull them out
Like
while you
it's my
at it?
dude. Like
Like
it's different. Like I'm okay
it's
with that.
nothing. Like
You know
But
what I don't? Listen. I'm not into public displays of affection. However, if a guy's in, like I'm one of those girls. Y'all will pull, I'm one of those girls. If I'm in a relationship, I'm like, if you down, I'm with it. Like I'm willing to experiment. If you want to grab a boob and smack her ass, as long as you don't do it in front of my family, and like by my family, I mean my father. Like I could probably do all the older generations. I probably feel uncomfortable with that. We're not gonna do that. But my cousin, cousins, like with y'all, if I'm with y'all, he just grab. I'm like, oh word. I'm be like, oh word. I'm not even gonna act like I'm not even gonna make a scene. I'm acting like, oh, you playing games. As soon as y'all looking away, oh, you playing. Oh, you starting some shit. But it's a relationship, so I kind of don't see a problem with that. But as far as me as a female, I don't entertain another man when I'm in a relationship. Like the only men that I will talk to and be friends with are those that I've already been friends with. So like when I'm in a relationship, I don't entertain a straight man. I don't make new male friends. I don't agree with that. There's no reason why. Yeah, and we friends, if we were Snapchatting cookies and penis pics, and I'm in a relationship, we're no longer Snapchatting cookies and penis pics. That ended that day that I took that man as my man. It was fun while it lasted. We are no longer doing that. So
But she
that's
don't
not
think it's
innocent. That to
innocent.
me is disrespect.
But she said it's not innocent. She said it's innocent because it's not no physical touching. I said, but you're showing somebody something that you're gonna want me to see,
Doesn't matter.
and you know, it's not cool.
They don't belong to
Oh,
me.
her sending the
Am I
pictures. Y'all
tripping or
together
like
like
you
this?
lagging a lot right now?
No,
No,
she
I
don't
was
want you to see.
no. What I'm saying is that eventually I'm going to see.
Eventually,
Mm.
she snapping
Yeah,
chatting to
eventually.
some random, and you eventually gonna see it. Nah, she's still
Well,
fucking
we're
him.
not in a relationship, and I told her we were talking about relationships.
Um,
Wait, y'all
Mm.
lagging. I can
um,
barely hear the question. What
it might be you, Christina,
what
because
led
nobody
up
else
to
is
that?
lagging.
Boo, you can hear
Yeah,
me?
I hear you
Oh well,
fine.
I can hear Boo Boo. I can hear
You hear
Joey
me?
now. I see you, Lord. All right. So Joey, what
It's you
led
that's
up to that?
lagging.
You was saying like you was explaining what led up to it. What happened?
Oh, I was on a date yesterday. I dropped the baby off to Boo Boo and them when I went on a brunch date. And when I went on a brunch date,
You
um,
sent somebody a
you freezing, Christina. Christina's freezing. Uh-oh, doing
She
the
gotta
Ricky eye?
go. She gotta
On
go.
service.
She gotta
On
go.
service.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what led up
She'll be
to it.
back.
Um, Boo Boo on the comments, um, they said she's a good woman. You can't complain about her. That's what your mom said. What's so it said? Sounds like my son. I told him that I don't want to hear any more. You picked her, deal with it. Your mom said, "LOL, boo boo. Your jail number will be 3RT2. Inmate
We
number
are.
12,000."
Wow. Some commissary.
Yeah, your mom
City
said Nick.
commissary.
But no, I feel like in a relationship, like I view relationships differently. Like I've got chastised for that because I do feel like when you're in a relationship, maybe it's me, and I guess I just feel like I'm not gonna enter.
No,
I
it's
don't
not.
want you entertaining no new female. I don't want. I feel like when you in a relationship, right, and you have problems, because all relationships have problems. When you meet that new male friend, you don't never know what his intentions are. Like my male friends now, my two male friends, baby daddy and Corey, those are my male friends. So any relationship I get into prior after this, they're in my life, and they've been in my life for years, and nothing has gone on. So when I explain that to somebody, you understand what I'm saying? They have to. You back? You
Christina,
back?
can you hear
Okay.
us?
When I
Yeah, I can
explain
hear
that to
y'all.
them, okay. When I explain that to them, I want them to understand that I don't accept new women. Like I have to accept every bitch before me. So if you have a friend that you're cool with before we get together, I will accept her. I got no choice. She's been there longer than me. I have to just trust in you. But new people, when they come in, you don't never know their intention. So, I, as a female, that male friend that just became my friend now, he's so cool with me, and now I'm going through problems with my man, and now I'm over here telling him, I need your advice, like that. You know what I mean? You're entertaining another man now, so now he's knowing all the problems. So if his intentions are to get them cookies, he's using that information you're bothering him with. He's not really a friend. Same thing with females. A female will sit there and be like, "Oh, nah, we friends. That's my bro. That's my bro." But realistically, she trying to be sucking on the bro. She ain't trying to be the bro friend. So she'll come there and everything your girl do is wrong. Your girl, oh, she ain't cooked dinner last night, and you was out here working hard. That's fucked up. I cook all the time. I cooked last night. You want me to start bringing you leftovers? That's the shit bitches do. So as a female, no new bitches, no new dudes. And people say that's wrong. They say, oh, that's possessive, and I don't feel like it's possessive. I just feel like we don't need to be entertaining people. It's not a trust issue. What, right on the nose? What I said.
I got a question. I got a question, right? Because you said you
Uh-huh.
see it works. Now I know why the teachers say tap the nose. I got a question, right? You say no new friends, right? Strict only people that came before you,
No,
right?
no,
You can
yeah,
accept that.
no, no,
Now
no,
here's
no,
this
no
one.
females.
What if it's a chick? No new females. No new females. That's what I mean. What if it's a chick that he hasn't spoken to in years and they just gotten back in contact with? I mean, they known each other for years, way before they got with you. But after he got with you, about a month after that, they get back in contact. Does that make a difference?
I think for me
I
it's
don't,
all
no,
about.
no, I don't have.
I think for me it's all about whether or not y'all had something going on. Like
Nah,
if y'all were just friends and y'all just like came all of a sudden and rekindled things, like I don't think I would have a problem with that. But like if I then find out that y'all were in a relationship, or if I hear from like one of your older best friends that, like y'all had something going on, then I would begin to question like, okay, what the fuck
the
is going on?
motive.
Have y'all fucked? Were y'all in a relationship? Like what is the story that you're not telling me? Cause then I'm gonna feel like you're hiding something.
Yeah, like that would be me. Like if it's somebody from before, like, and I went through that. Me and Rich were living together, and he was on the phone one day. I ain't gonna lie to you. First of all, start by saying I'm a jealous bitch, just in general. Just start by saying that.
We
I
know that.
walked in my house after I came home from work, walked in my room, and my boo was on the phone like this, giggling. And then I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he was like, "Everything." He's like, "He good." He was like, and I said, "Who's that?" And he covered the mic. That set me all the way off. You covering the mic? You don't want bitches to hear my voice? Because that shit you do like me, I'm not covering the mic. Like if I'm on the phone with baby daddy and a Joey calls me or Joey walks in or my man walks in, I'm not like, no, I'm like, hey, hold on, baby daddy. I'm just gonna continue talking. So I feel like that's a sign of you hiding something. So I went 7:30 about it. And then he told me it was a girl that he was friends with from before and everything. But I told him, I said, I don't have a problem if you would have mentioned her to me. Like if you say to me, oh, like let's say me and baby daddy, we don't see each other as often as we used to, right? But when I make a mail, when I'm in a relationship, I make sure I mention him. You understand what I'm saying? So if a guy mentions like, oh, my friend Shakima, and I'm like, okay, and I never hear nothing about Shakima. Then all of a sudden he on the phone talking to Shakima one day. I'm like, who that? Shakima? Oh, that's Shakima. Remember I told you about her. And I'm like, oh, okay. And like you said, if it's been a couple of years, you're gonna like, well, why ain't I speaking a couple of years? But me, I'm inquisitive, so I'm always gonna ask these questions. I be all in the business because I don't like pop ups. Because a pop up to me is a setup. Like where does random come from? She wasn't here before. Now she here. So I'm different, but like you definitely have to be honest with me and answer all my questions because I'm gonna answer all of yours. I feel like if I can answer all of yours, you can answer all of mine.
Facts.
Listen, trust is gained. Trust is
But
earned and it's gained, but it has to be something that you both willing to invest in. You cannot trust somebody just because they tell you, "Oh, trust me." That don't work. You have to show me why I trust you. You have to give me reasons to trust you. So if I ask you, Macho, what color socks you wearing? You tell me purple, and I see you with green socks. I'm not gonna trust you because you lied about something so small. But if I ask you, oh, what you doing tomorrow? You like, oh, I'm going to lunch with Tasha, and I'm like, oh, okay, Tasha, that's cool. You know, that's what's up. Tasha, how's she doing? Then I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm not nosy. People lounge said I was nosy. Uh, it's like it's like if you ask, I ask questions about everything. Like I'm like that. I know everything. Friends, I ask all kinds of questions. I be in everybody's business because that's how you know. That's how you catch people slipping. Because I got a good memory. When they fuck up, I'll be like, didn't you tell me on January 1st, 2007 that you said they be fucked up? But that's what you do. You have to be
I,
honest, and
I'm
it's all
someone's
together.
ideal woman. I don't ask questions. I don't snoop
But
through your pants and phone. If I have to do all that, I don't need to be with you. So, a relationship is not a job. Fuck, I ain't getting paid. People now said that.
Oh, you getting paid. You getting paid.
Lucina,
Sometimes
what do you
good
think?
pay, sometimes bad pay. Yeah, what is your opinion?
but to answer your
You
question,
gotta ask
Joey.
her the question again because she didn't hear.
No, I got it. I got it. You asked why is it that when women are in the wrong, we expect apologies and for you to be down on your knee apologizing for our good gracious and all this other stuff. However, when y'all are in the wrong, we don't necessarily give y'all that in return. I think it all has a lot to do with for one, the person you're dealing with, two, the situation at hand, and three, if damn, it was the third one that I just had in my head. Uh the circumstances, like the extent of your relationship. Oh no, I'm sorry, gender roles, because oftentimes gender roles teaches us, men aren't supposed to be this way and this way and this way. So it's almost like, why do y'all even want an apology? Like, what is it like? Y'all ain't got no business asking for no apologies. Like, what, you a man? Like, what? Like, what it look like you coming up to me asking for an apology for? Like, people think about things like that. So I do think generals have to something to do with that to an extent. But yeah, like I said, I think it all has every little thing to do with the person that you're dealing with and the circumstances. Like, if somebody that I'm dealing with caught me talking to an ex, you know, then I would have no choice but to be like, I'm sorry. Like, I would then apologize to him for that shit. But if we driving down the road and, I tell him to make this one turn, but instead he insists on taking another one, and the whole time I was right, then I'ma definitely want an apology in return of some shit like that. You know what I mean? So, like I said, it just depends on the circumstance and the person, and whether or not you are heavily involved in, like, gender roles. Because it's oftentimes taught to us that men aren't supposed to have emotions, they're not supposed to cry, men aren't supposed to be sensitive, and, like, an apology, that's something that you should not even be asking for, but you're asking for it. So,
But even still, what you said, you're right, because that's how I was raised. We couldn't cry.
yeah.
We couldn't do this. But at the end of the day, sometimes an apology makes a man feel appreciated.
To an
If you're
extent,
grown,
like, what is it that somebody has, like, put me in a situation where I can
like,
see your point,
okay,
because it's like,
it goes like this. It goes like this. If you're wrong about something, anybody in general should be, should be, think whether you men or women, doesn't matter. If you did something wrong to me, and because I'm a man, you feel like I don't need an apology. That's not cool. Like, but if I did something wrong to you, you're muted. Somebody muted you. You're muted. You got mute. You're mute.
myself.
Somebody muted.
Okay, I'm back. No, I had got a phone call, and when it does that, I guess I go on mute and my screen blacks out.
Well, I don't know Boo Boo on the
So
phone
yeah,
call because he's
continue.
all black and all that. But if I do something wrong to you, you can expect an apology. I'm, as a man, I'm supposed to be accountable for what my wrongs are. And as a woman, I want my woman to be accountable for what she does wrong.
But
So if I'm
generals
apologizing
do
to
not
you,
teach us that. Generals don't teach us that.
and that's the sad part.
Generals teaches us that women are always right in a relationship and men are always wrong.
But
So
and then it goes to what Laura said. If you if a man feels that he's always wrong, he's gonna and some, next woman makes him feel right. He's gonna entertain that. He's gonna entertain that.
But
Because at the
that
end of the
also is
day,
all that y'all put in a relationship.
But you speaking in a sense as if the woman he's dealing with now is always telling him that he's wrong. Like, for one,
it has.
if you feel some type of way because I won't give you an apology and you feel like the next bitch because she apologizing to you that you could just be okay with the idea of leaving me to go to her, then like you a
But
bitch
see,
made
but
from
see,
the start. You a bitch made from the start.
you said that if a man makes a turn, and you was right, you expect an apology. So what if he don't apologize? It says, well, okay, you was right. Oh well,
If he
and don't
doesn't
apologize.
apologize when I know that he's right, I mean, when I know that I was right from the jump, and we didn't
Yeah.
had an argument, it got to a point to where, bitch, my veins in the front of my head are popping out, and we in an argument. If you feel the need that you don't have to apologize for a situation that you caused, then that's an issue for me. But nine times out of
Okay.
10, a woman ain't gonna be too wrong. She ain't gonna be
I'm
too wrong in situations. Because women are
not
a lot
I
more
always.
agree.
level headed than men are.
Yes, y'all are level headed. Yes, y'all
Listen,
always want to ask directions, and that's something that I'm going to agree with. But at the
No,
end
I'm
of the
saying
day,
like women are a lot more
listen.
level
I
headed
want a,
and
In
I
general,
want,
no.
I want accountability. I want my woman to be accountable for what she did.
You know why you want
like,
accountability?
yeah, like,
Because
why do you
you
feel the
feel
need to
you're
have her
defined by that.
accountable? Like, why hold her
But
accountable
you know
for
that no,
nothing?
no, no. You know what it is? Is that he's defined by it. That's the problem with a lot of people in relationships. So this is the problem with relationships in general. People, when you enter the relationship, am I lagging? Because I'm seeing something that's telling
No,
me,
you
okay,
good, you
Uh,
good.
I'm trying to. When people get in relationships, the problem they have is that they turn around and they take the past and they bring it back into the relationship with them. So if you were in a relationship with somebody who did not make you feel, who did not give you that, I want to say support. I want to say that emotional, like the emotional. I'm trying to think of the word I'm trying, but like they didn't give you that attention that you wanted. That and that's what you now, or you were in a relationship and you got all of that, and now you're with somebody who doesn't give you that. Now you're seeking that. So now you're constantly um looking for the affirmation, like, oh yeah, well I was right. So, and that's what a lot of men feel women want too. Like a man, I don't want and me as a person, me personally as a female, I don't need you to tell me I'm right because I know when I'm right and I know when I'm wrong. And I'm an adult, so when I'm wrong, I apologize. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter to who I'm wrong with, because
yeah.
I've been at, I'm freezing, I'm frozen now. Okay, I've been at work with coworkers and got into arguments with supervisors, with my own supervisor, and realized I was wrong. Came in and apologized because that's what an adult does. It has nothing to do with gender roles or nothing. I don't feel like you need to buy me flowers. I feel like what's put in men's head
No, I don't
and
mean buy
women
you
have just
flowers.
no, I'm saying, but I'm just saying general. I don't feel like it's that we have to. I don't like I argue. You know what makes me hold an argument for 9 days and 10 days and is when we don't discuss it. So if I have a problem with you and you are my man and we're just like, because this is my problem with men, and I've had this problem all my life. I have yet to meet a man who doesn't do this. Still, 37 years, been dating since I was 14. Have yet to meet one man that doesn't do this. And when there's a problem, you try to wait to see. Let me get calm, and you wait for me to get calm. So you think tomorrow I'm gonna be calm. And then the next day I'm gonna be calmer, and then you figure in a couple of days you're gonna come back at me, and everything gonna be okay. That is the biggest mistake anybody makes with me, because I don't get calmer. I get madder. So me, if you hit me 9 days later, like, hey boo, how you doing? Fuck you want? Why you on my line? Like my attitude has changed. But that's because, like I said, everybody's trained. We have, like Christina said, we have these gender roles and we have these things that we're conditioned to be. And if you're not this way, then that's wrong. And if you're not that way, then that's wrong. So it's in a man's DNA now to just keep apologizing because it's just easier that way. Like how Boo Boo said, it's easier. Less of an argument. And if you find out I'm right at the end, argument ends real fast. And that's the difference. So now we have to, when you're in a relationship, you have to state how you feel. You have to tell that person how to be handled. So that's why, like, when people say, when I was reading some of the comments, and they're like, oh, I'm nosy. It's not that. It's that I can only learn about you from you. You understand what I'm saying? So you're telling me things, I'm learning
Agreed.
about you. So if you're telling me
Mm-hmm.
like me, I know me. If when I meet a guy, I let them off the back. I'm extremely jealous. They laugh it off. How jealous could she really be? Because she told me. But then when a situation happens, they be like, I didn't know you was that damn jealous. Told you I'm extremely jealous. So you didn't hear me. You just said to yourself, oh, okay. She can't be that bad. But no, I'm really that bad. But I tell you because I know that's my flaw. You understand what I'm saying? That's my biggest flaw. I
Laura,
know
I
that.
want to
So,
tell you to stop saying the word jealous, because it ain't that you're
oh,
jealous.
I'm
You're
very
just very territorial. It's nothing wrong with being
I am saying no.
territorial.
But you know what? No, no, no. You know why I say jealous? And this is why I say jealous. Because when you say territorial, people misunderstand it. And with
But
jealous,
they
they
don't
get
misunderstand
the
jealous.
basic. No, but they get the basic concept. So me being jealous is that I don't like to share. And my jealousy, like I said, people make the mistake with me and they think, oh, you jealous, you jealous, you jealous. They think it has to do with a bitch. It has nothing to do with a bitch. Like if my man is entertaining a child, like a kid, and I don't want, and I'm mad because why he giving that kid all that attention? Was I'm right here, like that's me. Like don't judge me. God, I know me, but I'm the type of person. If I want attention from Boo Boo and Boo Boo's giving attention to Joey, I'm mad, and I'm just mad because I want Boo Boo to give me attention and he's giving it to Joey. No, that's not what I want. And I was worse because I've become a lot better as
A
an
lot
I
adult.
better.
can I can adapt to her being worse,
I was way
Christina.
worse, but I'm
Christina, let
better.
me tell you stories. Growing up, I couldn't have girlfriends come to the house. I couldn't. The only girlfriend Laura really, really liked was a girl I dated. Her name was Shavanti, and she loved her. Laura loved her. Like when me and her broke up, it hurt Laura more than it hurt me and the girl.
Laura was more involved in the hell. You should have told her to join. You wrong the Laura.
Hmm.
She loved her,
You
but
can have her.
she loved her because she had a track record of she was going places. She was doing what
She
she
was
had
doing
to
her
do.
damn thing. She was a banging
So,
bitch. That's the problem with men. Us good
you
bitches,
know,
they just pass it on. They take them bum bitches. That's what happens.
her. And then what happened? Like Laura would call on the like girls would call on the phone. He's not here. He's with such 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 such. But when I want him back, you can't call this number no more. On my house phone. Like I'm lending you my brother. And it wasn't just me. She did the shit to Ricky too. Like this is how Laura was. I don't know how she is now, but I
I'm
can
a lot
understand that.
better. A lot better.
I
I
understand
mean, I'm
that.
a lot
But
better.
the communication is right. If you don't tell somebody from the
Yeah,
jump
yeah.
how you feel, it's a problem. And I think that's what I was telling this girl. That's what relationships go wrong. There's no communication. Like I'm the
No,
type of guy like if I'm getting into a bait and I see that I'm right, but it's not going to the point where it's showing that I'm right, I say, okay, no, we'll do it your way. Like that's it. Like we'll do it your way. We're gonna do it that way. But then I get called sarcastic. But I'm like, I'm agreeing with you now. Like, why am I being sarcastic? Like,
because you're saying it in a sarcastic manner.
but I'm
Listen,
agreeing with you.
we're trained. Yeah, but you're agreeing, but you're saying it sarcastically. Like prime example. Okay, so I'm like I said,
Google's
I'm
been frozen
emotional.
for the longest.
No, he's not frozen. Oh, he's done. He's not after now. He's frozen. Being an emotional person
You said
is
what?
hard to say. Being an
You say
emotional
laughing?
person.
He look like he frozen because my thing
Oh,
is
he's
frozen.
frozen.
He do look like he
He's
frozen.
frozen. Yeah, he's frozen. No, I said he been being emotional and okay, entertaining somebody who's sensitive. Like if you ever dated, I don't know if you ever dated somebody very sensitive, male
I'm
or
the
female.
sensitive one.
No, but if you listen, it is the biggest job in the world. Okay, here's why. Because every little fucking thing. Oh, you're in the car. Where you going? Every little fucking thing annoys them. And it brings it's a problem. So if you
I'm a
say the
cancer, so
wrong
I know.
words, oh, if you say the wrong words, It could offend them. And I'm a Capricorn. So I'm one of those people that if I'm mad at you, if I was mad at Christina, I know she's sensitive. So I'm gonna use that to my advantage. So I'm gonna say something that's gonna make her mad so that she can be mad like me. I'm that person. And it's not,
Yeah.
and you know what is so bad is that I know when I'm doing this. So if you make me mad, I'm gonna do things to make you mad. And that's me being petty. And I'm okay with that too. I'm okay with that. Accept me. I only do that when I'm very mad. Because if I'm mad at, let's say I'm mad at Christina because she showed Boo Boo how to put on lip gloss but didn't show me. And I'm mad. How dare she? And now I tell her I'm huffing and puffing around Christina. And she not apologizing because I asked her 2 weeks ago. She not apologizing. She just continues showing Boo Boo, hey Boo Boo, this is how you do it. And I'm mad. So now I know she's sensitive. Say some fucked up shit to make her mad. So now we can be mad together. And then when she say, well, why am I mad? She said, we're gonna have
We
an open
should.
panel.
I think that's what we should
So
do
now I'm
next
gonna
week.
say,
Have an open panel.
but I don't know what an open panel is, but okay. So I said so I'm like
Open
this. I'm
panels
like,
when
okay.
anybody can come and join.
Um, I'm okay with that. Yeah. Then I gotta be cute. What if somebody sexy wanna come join? I'm single, you know. So that's what the thing. So being with sensitive people is so special. Like you have to entertain their feelings are so it's like if I don't protect them the right way, if I don't help them, if you don't cater to their emotions, it's like a fight. So it's one of the hardest things to do. So
It
like
is.
being
I
in a
dated a
relationship with
girl.
somebody sensitive,
I started dating a girl last year up until February.
I have on the shirt too, by
Every
the way. It's just a tank top.
every little thing I said, a joke. If I joked about her height, if I joked about something, I was almost. It felt like a second job.
yeah,
Like,
it is macho. And it felt like it. It
I
is.
Because you got
I
to make sure
woke
you
up.
don't offend her.
So I woke up for work when I was going to work. I would wake up, and she would want to talk to me the whole way to work, and I would tell her, "Listen, I just
Yeah.
need time to myself. Let me one thing." No, and then she wanted me to text her all day, and I'm like, so then I told her, I said, "Listen, I made a mistake." I said, "You know what? I'm not gonna joke with you no more. I'm not gonna crack no jokes with you no more. You do whatever you want." She started crying. That's not what I want. I don't. And I'm like, I wanted to take the Al Bundy gun.
I just think when it comes down to the sensitive gals, we just need we need a different type of man. Like a lot of men
You
can't
need a
deal with it. A lot
no,
of
you
men
need a no.
can't.
You don't need a man that you need a man that's gonna shut you the fuck down.
Yeah, like and that's why I say a special kind of man. Got to be
Am
a
I still
special kind of
frozen?
man.
No,
Yeah, you
you
still
frozen
frozen
though.
with the
I
men.
can hear you, but
With
Can
we
the,
y'all
can hear
hear
you.
me?
Yeah,
yeah,
we
we can
can
Yeah,
hear
we
hear
can
you.
you.
hear
We
you, but
just
you
can't see
frozen.
you.
We're waiting on your
But I'm
time
You
on
frozen.
this,
just
boo boo.
stuck in this one position. It's like you ready to fight somebody or something.
You got the crazy eyes going
Oh
on.
no, I don't know
But
what's
no,
going on.
I feel like I'm an emotional person. So I need a man who knows when to be rough with me, but knows when to be sensitive with me. Like, and it's hard because I
Mm.
can't keep telling them like, you know how hard it is to be like,
But that to
right now
me,
you
that's
gotta be
different.
sensitive.
That's
Right now
different.
you want to say to
If
them, you gotta be sensitive right now, but then you want them to be rough with you later. Like, I need that balance. They just gotta know the balance stuff. And it's very. I've only met
True, true.
two men in my life who've known that balance. Like two men I've dated that have maintained that balance with me. And I'm not like I said, I'm not sensitive. Oh no, our names are
yeah, we
missing
see it.
again. I'm not
Our names.
sensitive. Our names are missing
I
I
was
again.
was
gonna
trying.
say, am I tripping? Somebody is
Oh, you let somebody else
that's
join in?
needed.
Oh,
Somebody was trying to
Yeah, but
join
I
in,
think
boo boo.
somebody else wanted to join in just then.
That's needed.
Who's trying to join me? I don't. I don't got it.
I just got it. Some
okay.
about a foot.
No, it was that
Something about
foot.
a
I know,
foot.
right? It was that foot. No, that's needed. Said I know, right? At foot. She was saying at foot soldier.
So
Oh,
why am
okay.
I just not seeing that on my screen? I never look. I never see comments.
Oh,
Like
you
I don't.
see it
I
because you
never know
just
what
that's how your
everybody is
comments are coming
saying.
through. Oh, your comments are coming through there. That's why. Boo Boo and you are on the phone. So me and Joey
Yeah.
But
see the
I've
comments
never
on the
seen a
side.
comment a day in my life up here. But like all of a
On the
sudden,
side of the
it's
thing, it
all at
says
once.
private chat and it says comments.
She's on her phone. She can't see that.
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
I got to get on my phone to see how it is, like how you do it.
On
But
the bottom it says comments, banners, brand. You gotta click comments.
Oh,
It don't say that. It just say mic, cam, mic, chat, and leave. That's it.
oh.
Underneath where you see us at, it should say comments, banner, brand.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Or
No,
it
but
probably
that's
doesn't
I.
say that to you because was that Marcus?
You're not the host. But no, that's how
Yeah,
I see. Like I
probably
agree
because
with you.
I'm
Like
the one that did it.
yeah, I'm the. I feel like you sometimes have to realize that you know who you're dealing with, and is you have to be vocal, like you do in a relationship. And as long as you're vocal about everything, I feel like a relationship can run smoothly. You know, you don't have to fight. Everything is not a fight. That's a mistake us women make. Everything is not a fight. You know what I mean? Um, I'm the type of person like I said, I'm gonna fight whatever I want to fight. Every once in a while, I'll get somebody who'll shut me down. Rarely, but it's once in a while. So, but I like I said, I've only dated two guys that know how to handle it. As far as being sensitive, I'm not that sensitive. Like a lot of things don't bother me. But I am a thinker, so later something can bother me. But I'll say it. I'll just come to that person. And as far as like relationship macho, I feel like at the end of the day, if she thinks Snapchatting her cookies while she's talking to me, first of all, it's okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all talking. So if she's doing it, it's one thing. But to tell you to talk to you about it is a whole nother. Because as a woman, I don't want another guy knowing I'm Snapchatting the next man my cookies. You know what I mean? Like I don't want you knowing that. I might be doing
True.
it. I'm not gonna say I'm not doing it. I'm just gonna say you won't know about it. Because just like if I was sleeping with somebody, when you start talking, I'm not gonna tell you, you know, I'm fucking John, and but you could take me to dinner though. That don't sound right. That's just like no different if you fucking
True.
somebody. You're not gonna tell me, oh yeah, I'm fucking Sarah, but let me take you out to eat. It's not gonna go over well because now I'm already in competition with some random. I don't know who they are.
Facts.
You know what I mean? That's just reality. So I would never tell a guy that I'm Snapchatting the next man my cookies. But if he asked me, was I talking to somebody, I might say yeah, because I am Snapchatting the next man my cookies. Gotta give him some type of credit about what we doing.
I always tell them I'm entertaining other people.
Oh, what are you? You're a social network. You entertaining. Listen, when a
Yeah, I
guy
just tell
asks
them I
me,
be
"Am I
like
single?"
I be like I entertain other people.
Listen, if a guy asks me, "Am I single?" I always say occasionally. And when they say, "Oh, what is that? Is this one of those occasions?" Depending on how I feel, I say yes or no. Some guys get a no. This ain't one of those occasions. Some guys get a yes. This is an
Yeah.
occasion where I'm single. Because sometimes, listen, talking, depending on how involved you are with anybody, talking can lead to anything. And if you know, if she Snapchatting her cookies, you should have already seen them because she told you I Snapchat the cookies. You should have been like this, all up in them. You up in the city. But let's go to some last comments on this because unlike some of y'all, I got a job in the morning. So, Boo Boo, what's your last take on everything?
Listen, man. I stay out of it as much as I can. uh, you see, I was quiet most of the time. I stay out of it most as I can. Like I said, I learned the hard way. I'm always wrong. Whether I'm right or wrong, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. That's it. So I sit there and I always decide, especially when dealing with females, the less of both evils. Would I rather be wrong about this or would I rather be wrong about this? And that's how I make my decisions. That's how I keep clear. She's sending pictures freely to Snapchat. Um, yeah, you should be getting them freely because you in person. But
Yeah.
whatever. I mean that right there, I just say just have fun with it. I wouldn't say wife her up or anything like that. Just have fun with her, cause she's living her life, but she's
Same.
very like out in the
I'm
open
just
on how
trying
she's
to.
living her life.
I'm just trying to date and get back out there. It's been a long while.
Yeah, well, that's practice. Okay, we call that
That's
that's the batting
definitely
cage.
a
That
trial
ain't the
run.
game. That's
Yeah.
that's the
Wait,
that's the
did she
batting
watch our
cages.
podcast? Did she
What?
watch our podcast?
Yes.
Well, well, if she does, you the batting cages, baby.
Oh,
Nah.
fuck it. Sis, she already know now.
Listen,
Hell, sis,
she just hit me on Facebook
it's a bad
Messenger to
cage
send her
for
the
her
link.
cousin. That's it.
Listen, like I told, it is what it is. Like if it gets to that point, it gets to that point. But I'm just trying to start over. You get what I'm saying? Just trying to start over.
Um,
I,
being as somebody in that same situation, I feel like getting around is a little hard. So like I'm with Boo. That's practice. You can't always eat the first fish you catch. Sometimes you got to throw it back and catch another one. So
No,
Yeah, she's definitely a free trial.
that's
I feel bad
that's my
because she's
take on
saying
it.
I like that saying. That's a
Christina.
great saying. Definitely a free trial. You know, the free trials
I mean, no
for two
disrespect to her if
weeks.
she's watching. She feel free to comment. No disrespect to her if she's watching. But I mean,
I
but
mean,
I
it's
don't
no
know if she's
I don't know if
Snapchat
she
disrespect,
because
but
he's
I
watches.
on it.
mean,
But
sis gotta understand, like, if you're talking about, pursuing somebody, but then it's like you also then you're sending pictures of your goodies to other people. Like, girl, she already know. Like, it ain't no point of her feeling some type of way about anything.
that's what I said. I would have
Like,
never
sis,
told
let's
him.
be
Like, don't get
realistic.
me wrong.
Yeah,
You're dating. You're dating. In dating, I would have never told the dude I'm dating that. Like, I would have just been
Right.
like,
Me either.
I'm
Me
having. I'm.
either.
I'm doing me.
it's not something you're doing dating.
Right now I'm single. I'm having
But
fun.
she thinks that it's innocent. That she could tell me that in the beginning,
Mm,
it's innocent.
Anybody that
Now,
thinks that is innocent, you gotta
I mean,
listen.
I don't think the details is too much. There's too much
Yes,
information.
that's
Like
what
I
it
yeah.
said,
is. Yeah.
You
if
don't
you
even know
single,
what
I'm
I'm
single,
entertaining.
You don't
I'm
owe
running around.
nobody no
Single,
explanation
I
on
was
what
running
you're
around.
doing.
You know how many pictures I done sent out? When I was single, I was running around. I was sending out man pictures. I didn't tell neither one of them how many pictures I was sending out because they didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever is me and
They
you
ain't know
time
who
is
was
me and
getting
you
the
time.
pictures.
So
Exactly.
I kind of I feel like you know what maybe she feel the same way like oh we just dating there shouldn't be a problem which there isn't a problem but there's just certain things you don't say like you don't go out on the third day and say yeah one time I had to clap like no like you keep that separate that's to
what?
yourself you
Yo,
understand
Bubu's an asshole about that one.
like you understand what I'm
Well,
saying
no, but
like
he
you don't
has a
sit there and
Give me
say
valid
the
yeah
eye.
point.
Like Christina giving
Yeah,
him
you
the
know?
eye. You gotta give him the eye on that one.
you
Yeah.
heard me sis you don't do that
But that's a valid point.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
valid point, though. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I love talking. I love asking questions, dating. But there is certain things like I'm not asking. Like, I'm gonna ask you: Are you single? Are you married? Do you have kids? Everything outside of those three questions, I don't really need to know. As far as like, because if we're not fucking, and as a woman, I'm realistic with shit. If I'm not fucking you, 9 out of 10 times you fucking somebody. Guys will run you the game because guys run that game too. I ain't had sex in months. Lying, knowing they had sex yesterday. So I don't even ask those questions. When the last time you had sex? Nah. You can't
Yeah.
ask those questions now. Cause that's reality. You're gonna lie. And I don't want you to like men are gonna lie because they want to make things easier. They wanna adjust, they
I think
wanna
I started
give you,
asking
and there's
I
nothing
think I
wrong like that.
stopped I think I stopped
Yeah.
asking that question when I found myself lying about the answer to that question when
Exactly.
I was
That's what
asked. So I was
did
like,
that.
you know what? Don't even ask the
Listen,
first question. Like, it's not even worth it.
if a
It's not
guy
even
if a
worth it.
guy asks me if a guy asks me when the last time you had sex and I give him a date, and then he asks and I ask him when the last time you had sex, and he says a couple of months ago, I already know he lying. Because when you asked me, I gave you a date. I was like, I last had sex on da 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 da. And if your response to me is it's been like a couple of months, nah, my man's you lying. Because a couple of months you know the date, right? Because I knew the date. When you asked me, I knew the date. So then I'll be like, you had sex, but I only ask that if they ask me that first. But I stopped asking that question too because it just brings more lies, and I don't like that. Like I don't want you to feel the need to lie to me.
More
But if a
lies,
guy's really
yes.
interested, yeah, if somebody's really interested in you, they're gonna lie because they don't know if they tell you that they had sex yesterday, are you gonna dump them? You understand what I'm saying? You know, they don't know what
Facts.
they're, and if they're really interested in your conversation or they're really interested in the person you are, they're not gonna want to lose that. You know, some people want to feel around and see like, Shorty kind of cool. I kind of feel her, like or they feeling your
To
vibe,
let
so
y'all
they don't
know,
want to
she
fuck
hit
that
me
up.
on Facebook Messenger. She said she can't comment.
Why she can't comment? What she got to say?
I don't know.
She
No,
can
she
still tell us
Wait,
comment through
she hit
Facebook
you up
Messenger.
and said I can't comment.
But so like,
I told her to subscribe to it.
subscribe to it, nigga. She gonna report our channel. We get a thumbs down because of you, Joey. Good
Somebody
job.
gotta report it.
but
She's
no,
giving
like
us a
it's true.
thumbs
Like if you
down.
can,
Gonna get that strike email.
yeah, we
Like,
about to
all
get
right
that free.
now.
Boo will get it. Boo will let us know. But that's true. Like
I got you.
if you can't, what you call, like if you can't, there's certain things you just don't say. And as a woman, there's certain things I just don't ask. Like I said, I asked you, are you single and are you married? Why do I ask that? Because a man will tell you he's single and have a wife at home. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying? Because you didn't
Yep.
ask him, was he married? And if he feel like he want to be
Yep.
single, he's a single occasionally. That is one of them occasions. So guess what? He ain't single at home. So you got to ask that. Do you have a wife? Because some men have wives, but they separated. But that bitch
Mm-hmm.
come around every once in a while and get that itch scratched. You got to know there's situations out here.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? If a guy say he have kids, what's the relationship with your baby mother? If he start off by she's a bitch, I already know.
Yep.
He lying. They either got a whole bunch of
No,
drama,
no,
or he's still fucking her,
no, no, no.
and he don't want to. There's only one or two things. When a guy
Nah.
say, "Oh, she's a bitch," he's either mad at her, and that's why she a bitch, or she's a drama. Cause there's some bitches who are drama. Don't get me wrong. There's some I've seen some
Yeah.
baby mother shit. There's some bitches who are
You,
drama.
you
And
know
you know
my
it's crazy
situation,
because my
how my
I
situation
actually
was
have a
at
Yeah,
first.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
That's what I said. Some bitches who are
Ooh.
drama, and then some bitches are cool. Like you, and then if a guy say, "Oh, she's mad cool," we have a good relationship. I always ask stupid questions like, "Oh, she want to meet me," bitches like that. A bitch who don't got no beef for a baby father, she want to meet you because she want him to still take their child, and she want to know who the
Mm-hmm.
fuck is gonna be around their child. So she on some like,
Mm-hmm.
let me just meet this bitch because I still got to get my itch scratched. He fucking this bitch. I want to be fucking somebody too. So let me. How you doing? Oh, nice to meet you. You could go pick up that child because as long as that motherfucker got out her house, so she can do what she doing. Everybody froze or is it just me?
No.
So that's how I feel like.
okay.
So it all depends.
Yeah.
It all depends on the person. Like I said, everybody's different. I just feel like that when you have to definitely
Yo,
reconsider the
Crypto
people
is
you talk
stupid.
to.
He wants to see the cookie stop playing.
No, that's what I'm saying. She want.
Laura, I gotta
That's my
add to
whole
what
thing.
you
When
were
you
saying.
go ahead, Chris.
I agree with that. I was actually just talking to my friends last night. My good friends from my old job. We were having a conversation, and my good Judy, is in a relationship with a guy who already has a child. And it's funny that you mentioned that because last night we were talking about it, and the dude was on the phone with his baby mama, and my good Judy was like she felt some type of way about it initially because it was like, they was on the phone for too long. But considering that she understands the relationship, like they don't have beef with each other, like it ain't no beef. Like they just co-parent, and whenever they do talk, they talk. And she was like, last night, well, the other day was her first time seeing the baby mom, and that was because she was like, don't be trying to hide your girlfriend from me. She was like, put her on FaceTime, let me see, let me talk to her. So they had
Yeah,
a chance to like talk and like get a feel for each other. And I think situations like that are healthy. When you have a good
yeah,
relationship with your baby mom, I think it's easier for you to be upfront and honest with
yeah.
your
Yes.
current partner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
but
Yes.
yeah,
some
it was
guys,
no beef, no harm, no
no, but
foul. Like they spoke, and the baby mama
listen,
initiated the conversation. You know, she was like,
yeah,
"Don't be
because
trying to hide
some
your
women,
girlfriend from me. It ain't nothing to hide." And like they got on Facetime and was cutting it up. So
yeah, but like someone, you know
I
what it
had to
is?
add on to that because I was
No, but
in a
some women,
situation like that yesterday. Well, they told me
oh yeah,
about a
yeah,
situation like that yesterday.
but some women, their problem becomes
But
like to me, some men, a lot. Listen, a lot of men portray their baby mothers. There are some bitches. Don't get me twisted. There are some bitches for baby mothers. I've seen a few, but some
damn,
men
I can't hear
when they're
Laura.
trying to get because you frozen when they try
I'ma leave and come
to
back.
do when they try to do things, they try to like, oh, okay, I wanna be with you, or they still fucking it. Cause some men who are still fucking their baby mother, she's a bitch to you, cause they never want y'all to speak. But it doesn't matter. Like I look at that. There's some men that be like, oh, that bitch, she trifling, fuck her, that. But a lot of times they lying to her and they lying to you, and those are the things you have to weed up. I have mad bottles of water around me. The shit is I'm trying to finish all of them because I buy water and then I drink water and then I leave it here and then I forget it and I open up a new one. So I'm trying to finish all my bottles.
You want to flush your system
I
like
will,
that.
no, I
For
just wanted to
real.
finish my
So let me
bottles.
ask y'all something. We still on the conversation and we moving on.
Well, that was Joey said he had multiple questions. That was the only question he asked.
Well, it was all multiple questions in one. That's why.
Yeah, we had a whole
Yeah, I was
conversation
gonna
about
say that was
relationships.
like a multiple
Yeah.
choice question.
Hmm.
So okay, so
Um,
let me ask y'all something.
yeah,
Not to get off topic or anything, but did y'all hear Tory
we
Lane's
finished that
album?
topic. No,
What?
Nah.
Y'all ain't hear Tory
Nah, I
Lane's
didn't hear it.
album?
Nah.
Whose album?
So
Tory
Tory
Lanez,
Lanez.
so
the
No.
shooter,
yes, Tory Lane. Yes.
the one who shot Megan Thee
So,
Stallion.
he came, yeah. So he came out with his album. He never addressed it on social media or anything. He just came out with an album. And last night was my first time hearing it at my friend's place because, I am not supporting Tory. He's not getting a stream from my phone. I'm not downloading shit. I'm not listening to nothing from my phone. So the only
I'm
way I'm gonna
glad you
go
brought
listen to
this up.
anything he had to say was off somebody else's phone. Um,
Mhm.
so the album was something different. Like I cannot sit up here and lie and say Tory Lanez is not an amazing artist. He is a
Oh,
talented
you just not
individual,
giving him no entertainment.
Yes.
very talented individual. But when I heard that album, I only heard about him. Like he started calling people out. Like he called out Asian Doll. He called out JoJo. He called out J.R. Smith. Like he was really calling people out on their shit and like giving them their ass. Like on some real shit. He took it and like gave it back to him. Like here, don't ever come for me again. You know what I mean? Like that. It was giving very much that. However, he always beat around the bush when it came down to either him confessing or denying whether or not he shot her.
Good.
Like he said itty bitty things. I'm sorry. Go ahead, boo boo. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm
No,
just hyped that you brought it up. It's because I don't. The only facts that we know is that
Mhm.
Megan got shot
Mhm.
in her foot. It's the
Mhm.
only facts we know. All right.
Mhm.
Let me tell you something. As a person, if I'm beefing with somebody and somebody's out, I don't talk about what I got about what the situation is. You gonna say whatever you want to say. At the end of the day, we both know the truth. You understand? That's just how I look at things. Megan put out her truth on it.
comfortable.
Tory didn't. There was an article that I saw that some lady, she sat there, she said that that multiple times she went to the house and that Megan, big ass Megan, 6'3", was drunk as shit and very aggressive to Tory Lanez, who's 5'3". That's a whole foot difference.
Damn.
You
Hold
understand?
on.
So
Hold
now
on, because we
listen. Now
cannot
listen,
say
hold
foot.
on.
And I had,
Now
okay,
listen, hold on. Now,
okay.
at the end of it all,
Hold on, let me stop Google before you
if
continue. Before you continue, Google. Allegedly.
yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
allegedly, right?
Allegedly.
Now,
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I feel my situation, I get into this argument a lot. My situation, her getting shot in the foot is more than she's putting it out to be. Because if the nigga was going to shoot her, that 6'3" woman, you ain't going to miss that.
She's not
He,
6'3". Don't exaggerate. Don't
she's a
exaggerate. She
stallion.
is five
Compared to that,
ten.
all right, and that nigga is
She's
5 foot.
5'10". That's it.
He's not going to miss her.
She is.
I believe he shot at the
He's five
floor.
four, 5'5".
I believe that he sat
Mm-hmm.
there and he pulled out the gun to fuck with her or whatever. And she just stood there. He shot at the floor and it hit her foot. Okay. But
That's
I
that
also
Harlem Night
believe
shit.
that, thank you. That's what I was just getting to. But I also believe Megan Stallion was in that car fucking him up. Because she looked like the type that get drunk and want to be her man. So as a
Oh,
midget,
don't do that. Don't do that, boo
listen,
boo. Don't
listen,
do
listen.
that.
Everybody's sitting here, and they hopping on Megan Thee Stallion's side. Let me tell you something. She's portraying, but she got an image that she's a gully gangster bitch. You understand? She's tough. She's about that life. Whatever. There's a lot of females that's like that. You understand? We don't know what happened in that car. Do I sit there and say it's okay that he did that? No. But at the end of the day, if I'm sitting there arguing with a chick that sit there and she portrays that she's a gully bitch and I feel
Mhm.
threatened or saying, you can't say nothing to me. Like I don't know. Like the whole situation sounds funny to me. Like she sat there and now her whole attitude like she's playing
But you
victim.
gotta hear the album
She's
though,
playing
because
victim.
in the album, I don't mean to cut you off, but in the album,
I
he
don't even
doesn't talk about there was an altercation or anything. He says that we God, I'm trying to quote the lyrics right. He was like, we both knew what happened, and it's not what the media is portraying it to be.
exactly. So you know what I
Now,
get from
he
that?
did not
You know what I get from
confirm.
that? I
He
get
did not. No,
a
he
nigga
didn't
who sat
confirm
there
or
and knows the
deny that he
truth.
got shot. I mean, he shot her though. He didn't confirm or deny that there was an argument leading up to the incident. He's just saying that we both knew what happened, and it's not what everybody else is making it out to believe to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but she not
Exactly.
Like
fixing it
a lot of
either.
people are
Exactly.
saying that
She's
Tory
but
Lanez,
she's sitting there
he
saying
got
that
he.
Tory Lane shot her in the foot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if
But
she
She's not
isn't
fixing
saying it,
it.
she's letting everybody run with it.
Yeah. She's
She's
not
letting
fixing it.
everybody run with it. So he's just sitting there like, all right, fuck it. I don't care what you say. At the end of the day, me and you know what it is. We know what really happened that night.
Yeah.
Fuck around,
Yep.
she the
Right.
reason why he
But
got
no,
shot.
boo boo,
She
because
probably
that's
pulled out
not
the
what
gun
he's
and he shot her.
portraying. He's not portraying
Yeah.
it in that sense. He said that lyric, but he's like, if you hear the album, and mind you, I didn't hear the album. I just heard the important songs that Paul was like, I need you to hear. He was like, I want you to hear these songs. These are the songs that you gotta hear, and then you give me your take on it. I just felt like it was a business scheme. I think that Tory, he came out of the woodwork with an album because he knew people would listen. You know, he knew people would buy it. He knew it would get people talking about it.
He
So
ain't need that for his album.
Tory
He
Lanez
didn't need
was
that for
very
his
smart.
album. He
You
don't
said
need this
what?
for his album because Tory he didn't need this for his
He
album.
does.
Tory was
Because
no, he
Tory
didn't.
Lanez could have
Tory was
easily did
banging.
a simple live stream. He could have easily did an interview. He could have easily did something along those lines. But he took it to what he knew, and that was the music. He know he's gonna get a check for it. He knows he's gonna get publicity for it. So why
Yeah,
do an
Yeah, but there was
album?
like so many
Is what I'm
rumors
saying.
but
surrounding. that shooting. There was like hundreds of rumors surrounding that shooting. There was
Hmm.
the whole thing with the Jenner, whatever
Oh,
Jenner that
Chris.
is, Kylie,
Damn. What's her
Kylie
name?
Jenner. Is it Kylie?
That's needed.
Huh.
It was the whole thing with that, and then she was in the Cardi B video, and then they said that she was still at the house. It was like a whole bunch of shit. There was so many different things, and I can believe this, and I'm gonna say this. I remember when everything happened with Chris Brown and Rihanna, and everybody jumped on her because
Where we going
Rihanna
with
had the bruises.
this?
No, no, no. Listen, Rihanna had the
Where we going
bruises.
with this? Where we going with
But
this? Because we're
I
not going to
don't
talk about our
know.
Judy. Where we going with this?
Listen, everybody, I agree with Boo Boo when he says this. Nobody is in the car to know what transpired. You understand what I'm
Hmm.
saying? If nobody's there to know what transpired, that's just reality. I could sit there and call you and say, "Oh, this dude I'm dating just punched me in the face." I don't have to tell you that before he punched me in the face, I smacked him, I yoked him up, I bit his tip of his stuff. I don't gotta tell you all of that. All I'm telling you is what he did to me. And this is the
Yeah.
problem with media. We are not in those cars. So like he said, when he if he said in his song, we both know what happened and the media is making it worse. He knows she's a part of the media because she's telling her story and she's saying she's traumatized, she was through a lie. And like Boo said, if you a hood bitch, shit like that don't traumatize you. Cause you didn't see shit like that. You didn't been around
I
shit like
mean,
that.
that
The
bitch ain't never
person she
got shot in her
portrayed,
foot before,
And
though,
then
by her
the
boyfriend, by the
but she's
dude
a
but
she
the
was
but the
having sex
story
with. Like,
the
it's a
story about it
different
though
situation, Laura. Like,
the
it's not
story
a
about
different
it though
situation.
throws me off
It's a situation.
because the
Nobody knows
story
what
about it throws
happened.
me off. Listen to the story, right? This is the story that everybody's going with. 98% of the story is that this is the story. They got an argument transpired while they was in the car. The car
I didn't
pulled
even know
over.
about the argument.
She hopped out the car, and somehow, some way, she got shot in the foot.
They said
I
she was
fail to
running.
believe she was running and she got shot in the foot. I fail to believe that a man arguing with his girl in the car pulled over the car, hopped out the car with his gun, and shot at her foot while
Nope.
they was
No,
drunk.
she said he was out the window. No, she never said that he got out the car.
Or
She never
even
said he got
worse,
out the car.
he hung out the window to shoot at her foot.
Yeah.
That don't sit right. That don't sit right. That don't sit right.
What do you mean it don't sit
That don't,
right?
that sound like some. That sound
How
fabricated.
did she get
Christina,
the
let's say
window
it slow
removed?
together.
How did she get
They
shot?
got into an. I'll tell you right now. I'll give you a story that makes more sense. They got into an argument.
Okay.
She knows his gun is in the glove compartment. She grabbed the gun. He grabbed the gun. They both tussled and shot her in the foot. She hopped out the car. I believe that. But to believe that he pulled over, she jumped out, and
Mm-mm,
he
that wasn't
hung
the
himself
story,
out
boo.
the window. He
That's
hung
not
himself
what
out
she
the
said.
window and shot her in her foot. How many shots were shot? One shot. And that shot hit her in the foot while they was intoxicated. That story sound fabricated, baby. I've been around a
No,
lot
it
of
doesn't.
shootings,
No, it
and I've been
doesn't.
around.
Because when you're talking
Yes, it
about what
does.
you just
Yes,
mentioned,
it
that
does.
listen, Megan Thee
This is
Stallion, you just mentioned that Megan Thee Stallion is a certain height, and so is Tory Lanez. So Tory Lanez reaching out
Hmm.
of the car, Tory Lanez leaning out of the window compared to somebody else who is a lot taller than him leaning out of the window. The bullet to foot ratio, it makes sense. Tory Lanez is a lot he's a
Not
lot
the foot
closer to the
though.
bottom of the
If you would have
window.
said the
You know what I
thigh,
mean? Like he's
maybe.
not up in about he's like a lot closer to the bottom of the window. So him pointing the gun and shooting it would aim a little bit lower than somebody tall hanging out of the window doing the situation. You know what I mean? So
No.
Yeah,
my thing
probably in her
is,
No, it
ass, but
won't.
not her foot.
No, it won't. No, no,
listen,
no, it won't.
no, it
Because the
does.
car,
It
listen,
does.
listen, listen. No, it won't. No, it won't. Because
Yes, it does.
the
Yes, it
car,
will.
listen, no, it
No,
won't.
that was
You
in a
don't drive. I'm
truck. It
telling you
was a
why. Let me
truck.
tell you why I don't want.
It was a
If me and
truck.
you sit, okay, if me and you sit in a truck, if me and you sit in a truck, we're not the same height. You're gonna adjust the seat to your height, right, boo boo? You adjust the seat. You have a truck.
We
Hmm.
was in the
Your
back.
seat is
We
adjusted
was in
to
the
your
back.
height.
You don't adjust
If
the
your
back
father
seat.
gets in the truck behind you, listen, listen. First of all, he wasn't in the back if he was driving. How you? So
He
there's a
wasn't
third witness
driving.
who was
Who said
driving.
that? Who said Tori was driving?
So there's a witness to this whole shenanigans, and nobody's the witness. That makes sense.
Listen, there's four
Nah, that's why
people.
it can't
It's
be.
Megan, Tori, Kelsey, and Tori's security guard. It was four people in the car. And when we
Okay,
saw Megan get out the car, her foot was drenched in blood. Like her blood was. So it's funny to me because I didn't mention this
hold on. I didn't
yesterday.
hear
I
you.
was
What you
like,
said?
it's funny to me that initially when she got shot, she was outside of the truck.
Oh, you said it was four people in the car.
It was four people in the truck. Yes,
She was
it was
outside of the
her
car
best
when
Yeah,
she got
friend,
shot.
it was security guard.
her best friend, Tori, Megan, and his security. He had a security guard
Okay, and
there.
you said she came out the car with her feet bleeding.
Yes, listen, when she got shot, she was outside of the truck. But she eventually got back inside, and when the police arrived, she got back out of the truck. Because with the video that was being shown, it showed her getting out of the truck and her foot was
She got
leaking.
shot in that truck.
So no, but she got listen. All I'm gonna say is you gotta go listen
No,
to
hold
what
on.
she
I don't know
said
who's
on her
that's
live
all it is.
I
stream. I'm sure you can find the live stream on YouTube if you just type in Megan Thee Stallion talks Tory Lanez. I'm sure you'll find the
I
video,
call
and then
bullshit.
you go listen to his album.
I call bullshit.
No, I call
Listen,
I
Because I'm
call
about
bullshit
to
on
say,
his
bullshit.
end though.
So
I
if
call
now,
if
bullshit on his
so
end.
if
now,
Boo Boo
so
shoots
now her
me, why am
DNA
I
is in
getting
the
back into the
car.
car?
Cause listen, Megan told her story. It wasn't no album. It wasn't nothing. It was just her being on live. She turned the comments off. It was just her telling what happened. She didn't call
Okay,
the
I see
police
it.
initially because she knew that based on the current circumstances within the black and brown community, you knew shit was not gonna go on right if they saw four people of color in a truck with a gun. Shit just didn't sound right. So she said, instead of calling the police on him, she was watching out for him and everybody else. And she didn't make that police report. She didn't call and say, I need to file a crime. She didn't do that. She just, said, I got shot, kept it pushing. She got her stitches and
She
she
had to do
left.
that. He could have drove her
She
to the
didn't even
hospital.
turn this dude in.
He could have drove her to the hospital and dropped her ass right
which
off if she wasn't
which
trying to
leads
make a
me to
police report.
believe, which leads me to believe what I really believe happened was not what she says. I don't believe nothing. I don't believe that fabricated
Why
is a
do
fabricated
okay,
story.
so what is the motive? Okay, because I had to ask this question to Danielle and Paul last night, my friends.
What is
What
the
was
motive
the
for what?
reason then? Because at the end of the day,
What was the
Megan Thee
reason for
Stallion
what?
is on top of the charts. She's making her
And
music,
Tory
she's getting
Lanez is
her
too.
money. There's no reason for her to lie about a situation like this. So
Yes,
what
there
would be her
is.
motive into
There,
how? What is it?
there
What
is.
would it be?
There
She's not
there is a reason for her to
gaining
lie about the
anything from it.
situation. There is a reason to lie about the situation. If she's 100% at fault, if she's the one that's at fault, if she's the one that pulled that gun first, if she's the one that put her hands on that nigga first and all that, what do you think is going to happen? At the end of it all, listen to what the story is that you said the story was. You're giving me more details that's not helping out either. You said they was driving. They both in the back seat driving. They arguing. The driver's driving. Her best friend's in the passenger seat. Megan and Tori's in the back arguing. They pull over the car. She got out the car and he hung himself out the window. So that means he closed the door, hung himself out the window, shot her in the foot, opened the door, and let her sit down in the car until the cops get there.
No, boo boo, no, that
Bullshit.
is not what I said. No, 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 no,
That
no. See,
Laura,
that's
help
what
me.
I'm
Is
saying.
that
Then
not
you're
what the
making
story
an entire
is?
story out of it.
No, that's what you
No,
Yeah.
just said.
no,
You just sat there and
no.
said that he shot her through the window. He shot her through the window.
Yes, and
He's not
instead
going
of
to. Hey,
calling the ambulance,
now
I think the
listen,
reason why she
Christina.
got
No,
back in the truck
listen.
was because instead of calling the ambulance and getting the police and the feds involved, they decided
No,
to just go ahead and take her to the hospital instead. But
but
because the
listen to.
police pulled up, but because the police pulled up, they
Mm-hmm.
had to get back out of the car.
All right. Now listen to
So
what the
again,
story.
it all, but
Listen
again,
to
it
what the
all backs
story
up her
is.
reasoning as to
It
why
don't
she
back up
didn't
her
call the
story.
police in the
It don't
first
back up
place.
her story. Anybody with any logical
It
thinking,
does.
anybody that ever been in that situation, listen to what you're saying. You're saying, look, you can see my car door. You mean to tell me he opened the car door, she ran out, he closed the car door, hung his ass out the window, shot her,
Wait,
bow,
who's
and
no?
then
They would
opened the door
no.
back so she could get back in the car?
Boo boo. I'm sure what happened was she opened the door, closed it, and
Hmm.
he got to the window she left out of, and then
Hmm.
proceeded to shoot her.
And then he shot at her. And then after he
And he
shot her,
shot at her.
and
Yes,
then after he shot at
he
her,
shot her
they stood there and she opened the door. She sat back in the car till the
right
cops came.
because she's a gutter bitch. Because she's from that life and she knows not to put police in her business. So what she then did
If
was instead of calling the police, she just decided to go ahead and take me to the hospital. And I'll fabricate some story
you
instead.
you just helped out with it because you said she's a
Hold
gutter
on,
bitch.
hold on,
So now she's a
hold
gutter
on, hold on,
bitch.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on,
Oh,
hold on. I just watched part of the live. Go ahead, boo.
now you just said it right there
You go
because
first.
she's a gutter bitch. Now, if they shot her in the foot, right? If that's what happened, and she wasn't at fault, then why didn't they go straight to the hospital?
They did go straight to the hospital.
They sat
It's
there and
Let
they
me
waited
just
for the
let
that
me
they
hear
got
the
cops.
pulled
let me tell you what
over.
happened.
No, they got pulled over. Listen, you
No,
got to
no, they
understand. This
didn't.
is
No, they
at
didn't.
Kylie's house. This was somewhere in
That's not what she.
Calabasas.
No,
You
no,
know,
that no.
police
Everything you
officers
saying is
come
wrong,
like that.
Christina. No, 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 no,
What?
no, no. Everything you saying is wrong. I just watched the beginning of her live. I started watching her live. I only watched 1 minute 26 seconds.
Oh,
She said
granted,
she
I
was in
did
the
not
front
watch
seat.
the full thing. I got
She
to
was
the middle. I got
oh,
to
okay.
the
She
middle. I didn't watch the
no, she's
beginning.
in the past. She said she was in the passenger seat, the front passenger seat. The argument was done. She said that he was in the back, I guess, with her friend. Her security was in there. She was done. She got out. She said he started shooting out the car. She said he just started shooting at her when she was done with the argument out the car. She said that this did not happen at Kylie Jenner's house. This happened 5 minutes away from where she was staying, and
Okay.
that she told the police that she got cut with glass because she didn't want to tell them that there was 4 black people in the car. She didn't want them to kill her and shoot them, so she didn't tell them there was a gun in the car. That's what she said.
And
Here's
that was
my
the reason
thing
why
with
she
that.
didn't call the police
She
and get
said the
them
people. No,
involved.
she said
Keep
she didn't call the
listening. Keep
police.
watching.
She said the people. No, she said the people in the neighborhood called the police. But I'm with Boo Boo on that too. Like at the end of the day, I understand what you're saying, but you called the police. You didn't call the police. You were pulled over. He started shooting. Whatever. Why did you get back in the car though?
To
You
go
understand
to
what
the
I'm saying? Like,
hospital after she was shot. And that's why I
but he
mentioned it because
shot
that was
her.
my point.
But
He
he
Yes, he
shot her.
shot her, but after he
So let me
realized
ask you a
what
question.
he
Just
did,
curiosity. Just out of curiosity. You're walking down the block.
okay.
A man
No,
goes
no, you
out the
can't
window.
say a
Listen, no, no,
man
no, no.
because
Yes,
that's not the
it doesn't
situation.
matter. Okay,
They
Okay,
were
let's
let's
see.
different and
Not
could
a
not
listen.
man.
be together.
Your
You're a man.
booty, your booty
You're a
call,
man.
your
It
booty
doesn't matter.
call.
No, no, listen. You're a
No,
man.
they
Not
were in
even
a
a man. You're
relationship.
a
They
man.
were in a
Listen.
relationship.
Okay, listen. Can I? Okay, Christina, fine. You're a man. You're walking down the block because you're mad. Your man goes out the window and shoots at you and shoots you. And your
But
first
he was
instinct
she
is
wasn't walking down
your
the
first
street,
instinct.
Laura.
She was no. Listen to me. She said
She
she
got out
started
the
walking. That's
truck.
what she said. Okay, but you didn't watch the live clearly, Christina, because you're saying things that she didn't say. She said she got out the truck. I'm frozen.
Which I just
She
said.
said she got out the truck and
Right.
she started walking, and he
Right.
started shooting at her. So
Right.
why would
So
he?
when did
Once
I
he
say
shot
that?
her, listen to me, Christina. You keep doing this. This is hypocrisy. You listen. Once he shot her, if somebody shoots me, I'm not getting back in their car. I don't want you to take me to the hospital. I want to go to the hospital with somebody who doesn't have the gun that's shooting at me. That's a little common
Right.
sense. There's
But
nothing you're
how are
going to
you
say
gonna
to me
get
that's
that
going to
truck?
convince me. She got back in the truck,
To go
and
to
then
the
somebody else
hospital,
called
Laura. How else was she gonna get there? She couldn't
a
call the
cab.
police.
She could
Come
call
on,
a cab.
Laura. Come on. This is Megan Thee Stallion, and she's shot in the foot. Ain't no cat. Listen, ain't no
Christina.
cab finna be on
So
some. Oh
so
my
so to
God, let me
you,
go
so
You're
to
take her
making
you,
too
to the
many excuses
hospital.
for this girl, man.
yeah,
She made up
no,
a
but to you
story.
it makes sense.
She made up a
Hold
To
fabricated
you it
lie.
makes sense to go into the car the man who shot me. That's what makes sense to you, Christina.
Listen, but
You
I'm not
shot
in
me.
the
I should
car
go
by
back in your car. I
myself.
don't care who you are. It doesn't. But the person was still in the car when I got shot. We both liable to get shot in the head.
Okay, and you don't know what he might have said or done. He might have given the gun away to Kelsey, her best friend, or somebody else to that
Christina,
extent just to go to the hospital. Like, come on,
Yo,
like
Christina.
I get what
you're
you're saying,
reaching.
but
You're
not
reaching, bro.
everybody's
You're
like
You're
trying
in
to
this
find it.
reaching.
You're
situation.
trying to justify
You're
her
reaching. You're
behavior to
stretching.
say that her story wasn't a
How
lie.
so though? How so?
Because it's common sense. If you shoot me, I don't want to be around the person that shot me. I don't know anybody who's
So
ever been
how was she
shot.
supposed to get in the hospital if he didn't get out the trunk?
She
Let's
wasn't
just
in the
say I
middle of the
got shot,
desert.
and I'm like, the
There
only
was
way
people.
I'm going
There's
to
cars driving around.
the
She
only
has a
way I'm
whole
going to the
phone.
hospital.
She has a whole phone that she
She
could have
did not
called
have to call
anybody.
the cops. She could have called 911 and requested an ambulance and said
That
she
was
was
the
shot.
point. She didn't. She avoided that at all costs.
You want to know
She
why she
avoided
So
avoided
having
that?
she
to
Let me tell
confront
you
sacrificed
why
him
she
at
avoided.
all costs.
Let me tell you why she
because she
avoided that.
said,
As a on a hood aspect, I'll tell you why she avoided that. Let me tell you, my story is the real story. She grabbed the gun. Her fingerprints was on the fucking gun. What happened was that she was wrong. She got shot in the foot, and Tori cleaned up the fucking gun and just decided to keep his mouth shut. She sat there and said, "Tori shot me," but what really happened was that she pulled out the gun to act like a gully bitch, like you
but
called her.
she didn't
All
tell the
right,
police
that's
that.
what happened.
She
Come
told the
on. So
police
you
they
Of
got to
course
saying
she
come
she
back
didn't.
pulled
Of
home.
out
course
the
she ain't
gun
gonna
on
tell the
him?
police that. That's
No.
a
So
fabricate.
what
Well,
you're saying
everything that
is,
happened is
hold
a
on. What you're
fabricated
saying
story
is
about
she
that.
pulled out the gun on him.
Yes, Christina,
She
I seen
pulled out the
brothers
gun on
fight.
him.
Christina, I seen brothers fight, and I seen a brother pull out a knife and stab his brother in the shoulder. And then after that, I realized he fucked up. The cops came, he cleaned up the knife, and they said they got jumped by somebody else. Fabricated story. All right, I know a fabricated story
To
when I
tell
hear
the
one.
police.
That's a
To
fabricated
tell the
story.
police.
Yes,
To
to tell the
tell the
police because at the end of
police.
the day, if she
Right.
if she grabbed the gun, if she grabbed the gun, it's her fingerprints on the gun.
His fingerprints was on there
Yes.
too. He shot.
So if she
Listen,
don't
I
want to
feel
get
like you're
if
justifying
she
the
don't want to
fact
get
that he
locked
still
up,
got shot
if
by
she
this
don't want to get
man.
locked up,
See, because
no,
my
I'm not
husband
justifying
Carl
that
is
he
on
shot
the same page like y'all. He's on the same page like y'all.
because her
Why are
story
y'all
is
justifying the
fabricated.
fact that she got shot? I don't get it.
Her because her story is
She
fabricated.
got shot. It don't matter
It doesn't
if
matter.
she
It's
pulled
probably her
out the gun.
fault.
Let's say your story is
Yes, it
right.
does.
Let's say she
If she'd
did
have
pull
never
out
pulled
the
out the
gun
gun,
on
she'd
him,
have never got
right?
shot.
You said
If
what?
she didn't, if she'd have never pulled out the gun, she'd have never got shot.
That's not true because he was heavily intoxicated, like she said. He was intoxicated. He was fucked up.
Boo boo.
Yep. All right. Yeah.
What highway you taking?
Hmm.
What highway you taking? How you getting to Atlantic City?
I'm going. I'm going up Jersey Turnpike probably.
All right, you gotta be careful because there was a car crash on your block in Brooklyn. Cypress
Oh
and
no, no,
Brooklyn.
we're not.
Okay,
We're
so
not going to tomorrow.
we finished with this.
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired of this
We about
fabricated
to-
story.
All right, well, we're over this. Let's get this going because I gotta work in the morning.
You
I'm gonna
say
do
you
my
tired of
Yes,
what? Say
research
ma'am.
it. I
about
didn't
the
catch
whole,
that.
We
huh?
could discuss the Tory Lanez thing next week. Let's
Yeah,
discuss
I'm
this Tory
definitely
Lanez
What?
gonna
Tory
thing.
do my
Laney.
research and check this out.
Did y'all say? Are we done with this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just let's say good night because I definitely gotta go to work in a couple of hours.
Yes,
Um,
ma'am.
Good night, everybody. Thanks everybody who showed up. I know we kind of talked past some people's bedtime because we got a few. Okay, guys. Good night, and so forth and so on. Um, so good night to everybody who was here. Thank you for showing love.
Everybody that
We'll
was
be on
offended
next
by
week.
We'll
this,
see you next
I'll talk
Sunday.
to you later.
See you next week, same
Next
time,
7
o'clock p.m.
same day.
Yeah.
Good night, y'all.
But don't hang up though, because
Good night.
I